Chapter 716. November 2nd. McMow. In the Crystal Tower. Old Manly frowned. Are we really going in? Yes. Fong Ping exhaled and said, I'm out of money. Old Manly frowned again. Out of money? Fong Ping still had a mineral vein here. Why was he out of money? However, he had a rather deep understanding of Fong Ping and had a rough understanding of the situation. After thinking for a while, he said, in these 2 days we will initiate a war and kill some powerhouses while we're at it. If you want to impersonate someone, it's best if you impersonate someone from the outer city. You're not familiar with the inner city. If you impersonate someone else, it'll be easy for you to slip up. But the people from the outer cities don't have high statuses. Fong Ping furrowed his brows slightly and said, if my status is low, I'll be a nobody in the restricted area. Does the master of Monster Sunflower City have any descendants? I don't know. Old Man Lee's answer was straightforward. Humans could not enter Monster Sunflower City at all. So how would they know about these things? Then while you guys are fighting, I'll sneak into the city. It's best to lure that sunflower out as well. It's inside the city, and its perception is very strong. I'm afraid it'll be very difficult for me to enter the inner city. If there's a war, will the Young Warriors tournament be canceled? I don't think so, but if the city lord is dead, then it's hard to say. Old Manly shook his head and said, Monster Sunflower City's governor isn't that easy to kill. He's also a powerhouse who stepped into the origin path. Now, they had learned their lesson. Once the battle started, many rank 9s would come to their aid very soon. The only way to do that is to kill him in an instant. But even if Old Wu and I join forces, we won't be able to kill an Essence Dao expert in an instant. I'm fine. Fong Ping laughed. There's no rush. Monster Sunflower City will be destroyed sooner or later. Since we can't kill him, the competition definitely won't be canceled. It's better to do it sooner rather than later. A large number of young martial artists will be rushing to Monster Sunflower City in the next few days. It might start soon, so don't miss it. Then tonight it is. Old Man Lee was straightforward too. Very quickly, he set the time. Then he said in a low voice, this time, you'll sneak in secretly. Don't expose yourself. There are a lot of people watching you now. No one can tell if there are spies from the evil cult. As for who the Great Pope is, we still haven't come to a conclusion. There's an Extremity Realm expert lying in ambush, so it's best to be careful. I know. Fong Ping nodded and said, I'll announce to the public that I'm going into closed-door cultivation these few days to consolidate my realm and control my strength. After discussing with Old Man Lee, Fong Ping closed the underground mineral vein and announced that he would continue his closed-door cultivation. He had just entered rank 8 and did not have a deep grasp of rank 8 power. It was normal for him to go into seclusion to familiarize himself with his power. Lu Polu had broken through before him and was still consolidating his rank 8 status. At night, McMow, Qin Fengqing looked at the rank 3 martial artists beside him and was speechless. Is that okay? Nonsense. Fong Ping followed behind him, speaking telepathically. The identity is real. Why can't it work? There were tens of thousands of MCMAU students. Who would know if one more appeared? Don't talk to me. You're the teacher leading the team. Don't talk so much nonsense. Fong Ping, shut up. Even if you want to use sound transmission, you have to call me Zhang-san. Zhang-san, screw you. Qin Fengqing complained incessantly. Can't you come up with a better name? This is too perfunctory. Why not call him Li Si? Too lazy to talk about this. Qin Fengqing transmitted his voice as he walked. Why don't we take this opportunity to kill the big sunflower? Maybe we can kill it. What's the hurry? I'm afraid that the sunflower seeds are only effective against middle and low-grade cultivators. It might have some effect on rank 7 cultivators, but it won't have any effect beyond that. If we don't kill it now, it won't be of any use to us in the future. We'll see. As the two of them walked and chatted, a few MCMAU students followed them. These people did not seem to mind Fong Ping's presence. Just as Fong Ping had said, there were tens of thousands of students in MCMAU. One more was not a big deal. Moreover, he was not even a middle ranked. Rank 3 students were not worth much in MCMAU now. Recently, MCMAU's instructors and students' abilities had skyrocketed. Among the students, there were almost 1,000 middle-ranked martial artists. If you're not in the middle ranks, not many people will recognize you. Soon, everyone arrived at the entrance of the underground hall. As for identity verification, now that MCMAU was about to take over Magic City's catacombs, the verification system had already been transferred to MCMAU. As MCMAU's vice-chancellor, it was too easy for Fong Ping to get a fake identity. Or rather, this was his true identity. At the door, the uncle guarding the door was still there. When he saw Qin Fengqing, he couldn't help but smile. "Congratulations, Grandmaster Qin." Qin Fengqing bared his teeth. Grandmaster Qin, this was a good title. This was his first time coming to Magic City's catacombs after his breakthrough. The uncle guarding the door greeted him, looked around, and smiled. "Vice-Chancellor Fong isn't here." Qin Fengqing grinned. He wouldn't dare to come. Now everyone wants to beat him up. If I don't blacklist him, he won't be able to come in. Sigh. The uncle guarding the door looked like he had expected it. He said, "It's only a matter of time." The first time he went to the catacombs, I felt that he would be hunted down by the catacombs' powerhouses sooner or later. I just didn't expect that he would be wanted by the 108 territories now. He's the enemy, but I'm the hero. Vice-Chancellor Fong can make such a big commotion. It makes us feel good. Vice-Chancellor Fong not going to the catacombs now is also a blow to the catacombs, a deterrent. After chatting for a while, the uncle guarding the door laughed again. MCMAU will soon take over Magic City's catacombs. With MCMAU around, I think it's about time to demolish this alloy house. When it's demolished, I won't be needed as a guard anymore. It's time to demolish it. Qin Fengqing stared at the alloy house for a while, chuckling. It's not very effective against rank 8 and 9 martial artists. It can only defend against middle and low-ranked martial artists and rank 7 martial artists. However, if the catacombs really fight their way out, the rank 9 martial artists will definitely come out first. I think it's time to demolish it. Otherwise, we can make a super large divine weapon to cover the entrance. Otherwise, these A-class alloys might as well be demolished to make more weapons. Divine weapon, the guard did not know whether to laugh or cry. If you want to cover the entrance, you'll have to refine a defense-type divine weapon. The consumables are much more than normal divine weapons. Where would you find so many divine weapon materials and demon cores? There's none now. It's hard to say in the future. Qin Fengqing chatted with him for a while. Soon, he said, "I'll go in first then." After chatting for a while, everyone entered the passageway. In the passageway, Qin Fengqing spoke telepathically as he walked. "Fong Ping, don't say, why don't you let a few powerhouses in one day? Don't you have the Golden House? Use the Golden House to cover the vortex. Once they come out, they'll enter your Golden House directly. When that time comes, they won't even be able to run. They'll surround and kill those powerhouses directly. Previously, I didn't dare to let them out because I was afraid that they would run fast. Once they entered the normal people's area, it would be troublesome. But now there's a chance." As soon as he said that, Fong Ping was a little tempted. It seemed to make sense. His own Golden House was a cage. As his mentality became stronger, the Golden House became more stable. coupled with the forging of imperishable substances, it became even more stable. Today, the Golden House had been broken once. To repair it, it consumed close to 30 million wealth points. That was 3,000 yuan of destructive power. Of course, the Golden House was a house with a scattered nature. Coupled with the influence of Fang Ping's own mentality, it could not achieve a defense that was comparable to 3,000 yuan of imperishable substances. If it could be equated, 3,000 yuan of imperishable substances would have the same level of defensive power. That would be terrifying beyond compare. Until now, the imperishable substances produced by Fang Ping himself were only slightly more than 20 yuan. Rank 8 powerhouses usually would not exceed 100 yuan of power. Rank 9 powerhouses, even with amplification and the origin path, would only have around 100 yuan of power. Perhaps only the absolute peak could achieve more than 1,000 yuan. If it was equivalent, it would be equivalent to the absolute peak of defense. Only the absolute peak of attack could break it. However, it was obviously impossible. As he reached rank 8, Fang Ping's Golden House could still temporarily trap some weak rank 9s. Rank 9s of the origin path would be difficult. It would only take a moment for the Golden House to be broken. However, when his ability became stronger in the future, his mentality improved a little, and he strengthened the Golden House, the origin path might also be able to trap them. Thinking of this, Fang Ping suddenly thought of another problem. If one day his materialized objects were really comparable to the size of Sino Nation, and they were all filled with imperishable substances, then would the catacombs still need to be guarded? His materialized objects could directly cover Sino Nation and those entrances. Everyone that came out would be trapped. Once trapped, they would be killed slowly. There would not even be a need for defense. Looks like my previous idea is still somewhat reasonable. Even if I reach rank 8, I can't give up on filling up the materialized objects. Fang Ping had a plan in his mind. Rank 8 martial artists mainly cultivated the golden body. This also led to many people not using mentality to materialize objects anymore. At this time, martial artists, even ancient martial artists, also had branches. Some walked the path of the physique. Some walked the path of mentality. I used to envy Old Man Li, but Old Man Li is only strong in one-sided explosive power. He was born to fight, and he really doesn't have many tricks. I'm different. I have more tricks than him. Mentality and the physique are cultivated at the same time. Although there's nothing too outstanding, it's also very balanced. My physique defense is not weak. My attack power is not weak either. If my mentality is a little stronger, then I'll be a multifaceted person. Fang Ping had a vague idea. Before this, he had always felt that 10,000 Dao unification was ridiculously powerful. He regretted that he did not take the path of 10,000 Dao unification. Actually, if he wanted to, he was not in a hurry to materialize mentality in rank 6. Instead, he mainly cultivated the golden body. He could still take the path of 10,000 Dao unification. However, at that time, there were too many drawbacks to 10,000 Dao unification. Fang Ping had no choice. After that, when he found the 10,000 Dao unification cultivation method, Fang Ping felt a little regretful. Now that he thought about it, if he really took the path of 10,000 Dao unification, the Golden House would be integrated into his body. There would no longer be a Golden House, which might not be a good thing. It was difficult for others to kill same-rank martial artists. It was not easy for a rank 8 to kill a rank 7 because the other party could run. However, when same-rank martial artists met Fang Ping, there was only one word: death, because they could not run. If they ran, Fang Ping would cover the other party. If the other party could not even break the Golden House, where could they run to? The coverage of mentality was not small. Within the coverage area, materialization could occur anywhere. Most martial artists' materialization could not trap the enemy, but Fong Ping could do it. Now, it seems that it's good not to take the path of 10,000 Tao unification. I'm different from others. I have this condition to develop in a balanced manner. The others don't have this condition, so they can only focus on one path. Fong Ping had a plan in his mind. Rank 8 martial artists focused on cultivating the golden body because they could not dual cultivate. They cultivated mentality and honed the golden body. That rank 8 realm could trap everyone for hundreds of years. When he was thinking about this, everyone had already arrived at Hope City. Today, there were a lot of MCMAU instructors and students in Hope City, thousands of them. Less than 100 li away, there were also thousands of MCMAU instructors and students stationed in Demon City. Demon City's main defense target was Monster Phoenix City. That place was closer to Monster Phoenix City. Hope City's main defense target was Monster Sunflower City. Wu Quishan guarded Hope City, while Old Man Li guarded Demon City. However, today, both of them were in Hope City. Not only them, but Guo Shengquan and the other 2 rank 8 golden body powerhouses were also there. The 3 of them joined forces and were comparable to a rank 9's combat strength. Qin Fengqing brought Fong Ping and the others into Hope City. He let them wander around casually, then went to the military camp in the central area. Tonight, they were going to attack Monster Sunflower City. As a Grandmaster-level powerhouse, he was also the main combat strength. As for Fong Ping, the rank 3 martial artist was better off playing by himself. Central military camp. Elder Fan had not left yet. Recently, the government had the intention of transferring him to guard Nanjiang's catacombs. However, MCMAU had not officially started the handover. He also needed to guard for a period of time to complete the handover with MCMAU. In the command hall, Su Mafu frowned slightly. Dean Li, the situation now is not too stable. Frequent wars may not be a good thing. We don't even have time to recuperate. Moreover, as the number of battles increases, I'm worried that more cities will join the war. Skygate City, 300 li ahead of Demon City. There are 2 other cities surrounding it. Recently, they have been restless. If Elder Fan doesn't leave soon, I'm afraid that the 4 cities will join hands soon. In the Magic City catacombs, there were already 2 rank 9s here. Old Man Li could be counted as well, including Guo Shengquan, and the rest, there were 4 of them. Only Old Man Li and Guo Shengquan did not have rank 9 Qi dynamics. That was why the 4 cities did not form a complete alliance. However, once the battles became frequent, an alliance was only a matter of time. Magic City Catacombs was currently the first catacombs where 4 cities might join forces. Not only did MCMAU's participation not reduce the pressure, but it also increased the pressure on Su Mafu and the others. Old Man Li said nonchalantly, "These people are just despicable wretches. We must beat them until they are afraid." This was how the catacombs were. Everyone was selfish. If you did not beat them up, they would think that you were easy to bully. If they were easy to bully, coupled with the restricted area's hostility towards MCMAU, something big would happen sooner or later. Rather than that, he might as well kill the chicken to warn the monkey. Let them know that we are not to be trifled with. After so many years, they had not been able to work together completely. It would not be that easy in such a short period of time. Monster Sunflower City has joined the war for less than a year, and they have already suffered heavy casualties. This time, if we get rid of a portion of them, these fellows will naturally be afraid. Beside him, Wu Quishan glanced at Old Man Li. After some thought, he said, if we make a move, Monster Phoenix City will probably make a move too. Old Man Fan and Instructor Gua, you guys will deal with Monster Phoenix City. Currently, Monster Phoenix City has no plans to start a full-scale war. At most, they will send out 2 rank 9 powerhouses. Changsheng and I will attack Monster Sunflower City, Su Mafu said hurriedly. Then who will guard Hope City? Su Mafu said quickly, once you guys are entangled, if another rank 9 from the city attacks, and you can't get away, it is very likely that the other party will barge into the passageway. Old Man Li heard that and laughed. Then I will go and ambush the other party. Old Wu will guard the passageway. If I ambush the other party alone, it will be easier to kill people. It will not arouse the fear of all the city lords. This time, I will see if I can take the opportunity to kill the remaining 2 rank 8 powerhouses. When the war breaks out, killing a rank 8 along the way is also something that can't be helped. Actually, we have already completely fallen out with them. Other than the absolute powerhouses who can't make a move, killing a few is nothing. At most, we will be more vigilant in the future to prevent the catacombs rank 9 from attacking our rank 7 and 8 martial artists. Can you do it alone? Wu Quishan was a little hesitant. Old Man Li sneered. Of course, no problem. The me now is not the me from before. Even if it is difficult to fight 1 against 2, if they want to kill me, that is also wishful thinking. In the Forbidden Catacombs, 6 rank 9s can't even hunt me down, let alone them. Back then, I was only a rank 8 3rd refinement. Now, I have completed the 5th refinement and entered the 6th refinement. At this time, normal martial artists have already entered the weak rank 9. In terms of strength, those who have not gone far on the origin path are no match for me. Today, Old Man Li's vitality had exceeded 90,000 calories. At this time, it was already advancing towards 100,000 calories. After achieving 90,000 calories, most martial artists would choose to comprehend the origin path, taking the first step and officially entering rank 9. An extremely small number of martial artists would continue to hone their golden body and complete the 6th refinement, reaching a limit of 100,000 calories before advancing to rank 9. However, Old Man Li felt that it was better to continue honing his golden body than to walk on the origin path. To him, honing a golden body at rank 8 only needed to consume energy. When he reached rank 9, he needed to comprehend the realm and martial arts. Rank 9 progress would not be too fast, even for him. It was better to hone his golden body a few more times at rank 8 before stepping into rank 9, becoming a top-notch rank 9 powerhouse in one fell swoop. As soon as he said that, Ko Bianjiang, who had been guarding the Magic City catacombs for many years, could not help but say, "You have already entered rank 8 6th refinement? That's really fast." The old man was a little envious. At the same time, he was also jealous. With a complicated expression, he said, "These days pass really fast. I remember this time last year. A little later, Fang Ping invited me, Tianmu, Chen Yaoting, Lu Polu, and a few others to escort him back to Nanjiang. At that time, Tianmu was rank 8, Chen Yaoting was rank 7, Lu Polu was rank 7, I was rank 8, and you were only rank 6. In the blink of an eye, Tianmu was rank 9. Chen Yaoting completed rank 8 3rd refinement and entered rank 8 4th refinement. You even achieved myriad unification and entered rank 8 6th refinement. Even that old fellow Lu Polu is rank 8. Ko Bianjiang's expression was complicated beyond belief. Damn it, I was already rank 8 3rd refinement at that time. Now I'm actually in the same realm as Chen Yaoting, also just entered rank 8 4th refinement. I can't even reason with this. Old Manly chuckled. Can't help it. He's talented and improves fast. Come on. Ko Bianjiang sneered, stroking his beard. You guys improve so fast. It's all related to that kid Fong Ping. Speaking of which, this kid also owes me a debt. In the past, considering that he was too weak, I didn't think of asking him to repay the debt. But now this kid is already rank 8, and I heard that he has also entered rank 8 third refinement. Shouldn't we find a time to let him repay the debt? Wu Quishan and the others could not help but laugh. Ko Bianjiang said that Fong Ping owed him a debt of gratitude. This was true. Back then, when Fong Ping was escorted back to Nanjiang, Ko Bianjiang had also put in a lot of effort. Old Manly chuckled and said, Then you go look for him yourself. That kid probably doesn't have any assets now. We'll talk about it after some time. But old Ko, you get lost. Who are you calling? Ko Bianjiang said with a face full of dissatisfaction. In the past, you used to call me Old Ko, but now, when Old Ko, Li Changsheng, and Old you were here, you weren't so arrogant. You're a lowly person intoxicated by success. Now that you're strong, you don't care about me anymore, right? Old man, Li was very gloomy. Fong Ping kept calling him Old Man Li, but he was indeed not that old. He had just passed 60 years old, and there was still a gap between him and Ko Bianjiang, who was 70 or 80 years old. When the old principal was alive, he was only in his early 80s. These people were all martial artists of the old principal's generation. He was also the old principal's student, so he was a generation lower. Old man Li did not say much. He changed the topic right away and said, Then it's settled. We'll wait for another hour. Then we'll ambush Monster Sunflower City. In the past, the main focus of the military headquarters was defense. However, if MCMAU was stationed there, it would be using offense as defense. There are only 12 cities in the Magic City catacombs. If all of them join forces, we'll join forces with the rank 9 in the country and fight them once more. As long as Absolute Peak can withstand it, we can even destroy 12 cities in the Magic City catacombs. Wu Quishan shook his head and said, Don't be too optimistic. There won't be such an opportunity again. If a great war breaks out next, I'm afraid the cities from other territories will also join forces during the Great War. That's different. Old Manly laughed and said, Just the transmission of information alone. They're already a beat slower than us. They still have to pass the message through the restricted area. We're different. We can go straight out of the passageway. It's just a phone call. We can call whoever we want. Let the rank 9s gather. As long as the news doesn't leak, they won't even have time to mobilize when they suddenly ambush a catacombs. As long as the speed is fast enough, then there's no problem. However, this will easily cause the people from other territories to be in danger. I'm afraid it will speed up their alliance. We don't have to do this unless it's necessary. While they were talking, Old Man Li had already sensed Qin Fengqing's aura. He took a deep breath and said, Get ready. Gather the other high-ranked martial artists. The main purpose this time is still to kill some Monster Sunflower City rank 7 and 8 martial artists. Killing one is one. If the rank 9 doesn't die, the catacomb's true king won't be too concerned. Everyone had no objections. Currently, MCMAU was the main force in Magic City catacombs. Since MCMAU had chosen to attack instead of defend, then they would follow MCMAU's intentions. Around 8 p.m., Monster Sunflower City. At this moment, Monster Sunflower City was brightly lit. City Lord's mansion. The main hall. The City Lord of Monster Sunflower City sat on the throne. On his left was the son of the Monster Plant Court's king, and on his right was Feng Mieshing. Both of them did not leave. Instead, they returned to Monster Sunflower City. The city lord of Monster Sunflower City looked at both of them. There was a smile on his face, but there was a burst of contempt in his heart. These two fellows still dared to come. If it wasn't for them last time, things would not have happened. As he thought about it, the city lord of Monster Sunflower City wore a smile on his face. He said, "Your Highness and Prince Fong can come to Monster Sunflower City this time. Monster Sunflower City is honored by your presence. I wonder if the royal court can give more quotas this time. Both of you know that there have been frequent battles recently. Monster Sunflower City has also suffered heavy losses. In the battle where Monsterwood City was destroyed, one of Monster Sunflower City's venerables died in battle, and 6 of their chieftains died in battle. Now that we're facing MCMU head-on, we need new blood." As soon as he said this, Fong Mieshing frowned. "This time, it's already more than before. We've given 10 quotas." As soon as he said this, the young man opposite him said, lazily, "No problem. Give us 2 more, but give us some Fountain of Life and some sunflower fruits." The city lord of Monster Sunflower City's expression changed slightly. The son of the royal court's king was not secretive at all. He was asking for bribes straight away. Despite his dissatisfaction, after some thought, the city lord of Monster Sunflower City smiled and said, "This is a small matter. Your Highness, about tomorrow's selection," the young man said impatiently, "there are 12 quotas. We'll choose half. You can fill up the rest yourself. Just give them whatever you want." As soon as he said this, Fong Mieshing, who was opposite him, was a little disdainful. In any case, he was a descendant of the royal lord. Compared to Ji Yao, he was much worse. As for compared to himself, there was even less of a comparison. After the royal lord was injured, he neglected to discipline him. As one of the successors to the royal court's royal lord, this fellow was so vulgar that he was worse than a brute from the outer domain. As they spoke, the city lord of Monster Sunflower City's expression changed. He hurriedly got up and said, "Damn it, it seems like a powerhouse is attacking. Someone from MCMAU. It's the swordsman Longevity." The city lord of Monster Sunflower City hurriedly flew out of the hall after saying this. He could no longer care about these 2 people. As soon as he heard about the swordsman Longevity, the young man stood up and roared, "Guards, escort me back to the restricted area." Although Fong Mieshing was a little frightened, he could not help but despise him. This fellow was really afraid of death. It was just a swordsman Longevity attacking. There was still the city lord of Monster Sunflower City and Monster Sunflower City here. "Your Highness, don't be impatient. It's not too late to wait," Fong Mieshing advised. There was no other reason. Both of them were here as envoys. They were here to host the youth championship and select some geniuses to enter the restricted area. If they left before the selection began, it would be even more embarrassing. They would be too ashamed to go back. The last time they were chased, they had to flee pathetically back to the restricted area. When they returned to the royal court, they were almost laughed at by the other heirs to the royal court. "Wait, if the swordsman Longevity comes, Your Highness, it's not that easy. No matter how strong the swordsman Longevity is, he's only a rank 8. That's hard to say." The young man said a few words. He was still a little frightened. He paced back and forth in the hall, unable to calm down. When Fong Mieshing saw this scene, he despised him even more. However, when he thought of what his grandfather had said to pay attention to this kid, Fong Mieshing frowned. The last time was a little strange. This kid kept saying that MCMAU was nothing and wanted to kill them. Fong Mieshing could not hold it in anymore, causing the situation to change. Otherwise, Fong Ping might have been killed. In the end, he was almost killed by the swordsman Longevity, forcing the city lords to escort them back to the restricted area. This gave the swordsman Longevity and the snake king the chance to leave the outland. Is there really something strange about this guy? This thought popped up in Feng Mieshing's mind. However, when he saw that this guy's legs were trembling, he could not help but curse. It did not seem like it. However, it was hard to say. He had to observe more. His grandfather valued the Lord very much. Although the Lord did not have long to live, his position as the heir to the Lord might not be secure. Whether he's a real piece of trash or not, if there's a chance, this thought popped up in Feng Mieshing's mind. However, after some thought, it was not the right time. He came with this guy. If this guy really died here, the Lord would still be in his position. He might be able to guess that it had something to do with him. Then the loss would outweigh the gain. Please remember this book's domain name, 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 7:17. Longevity Sword, don't you dare. You talk too much. Rumble. The nights in the catacombs were always pitch black. However, on this night, outside Monster Sunflower City, dazzling golden lights shone. Outside the city, Feng Ping concealed his aura and hid in the Jiao's forest. When Jiao was around, it planted trees everywhere and expanded, connecting Skygate City and Monster Sunflower City. Now that Jiao was gone, the Jiao's forest was no longer a threat. Most of the planted trees had been uprooted, but there were still some left in Monster Sunflower City. Feng Ping, hiding in the Jiao's forest, waited silently. Monster Sunflower had not attacked yet. It was not his chance to enter the city. Once Monster Sunflower attacked, he could enter the city. Glancing at his stats, Feng Ping calculated how long he could use them. Wealth, 48 million points vitality, 64,000 calories, 64,280 calories, mentality, 3,210 hertz, 3,365 hertz, destruction power, 24 yuan, bones honed, 206 bones, 100% storage space, 1,000 cubic meters plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute plus, aura simulation, 10 points/minute plus. His wealth was 7 million more than when he came out of closed-door cultivation. This was from the armor that Zhang Tao had given him. Feng Ping asked old Zhang to give it to him, and old Zhang did not refuse. It was considered Feng Ping's own gain. 7 million, that was 70 billion. It was not comparable to a rank 9 divine weapons 100 billion. However, even the best rank 8 divine weapon was only worth about 50 billion. Divine armors were indeed more valuable than divine weapons. Simulating aura simulation costs about 15,000 points a day. Fortunately, the consumption is not high. It's bearable. Feng Ping could stay in the catacombs for 10 years if he did not use up his aura simulation. However, he was alone. 2 people would shorten the time by 10 times. 3 people would not be able to stay for long. This was also the reason why Feng Ping did not bring anyone else. He did not have enough wealth and could not spend it casually. Bringing old Wang and the others would not help much, and they would be easily exposed. Old Man Li is really strong. Feng Ping thought about this while watching the battle. In midair, Old Man Li's body shone brightly, his sword, aura soaring. After a while, Old Man Li slashed 4 or 5 times, and each slash tore through the air. In the blink of an eye, the golden body on Monster Sunflower City's Lord had several large holes. The Lord of Monster Sunflower City was no match for Old Man Li. Even though he had stepped into the Quintessence Tao, it hadn't been long since he had stepped into it. At most, he was comparable to Wu Quishan in the previous battle. Although he also had a rank 9 divine weapon in his hands, he was currently being suppressed by Old Man Li. Over here, Old Man Li was suppressing Monster Sunflower City's Lord. On the other side, Qin Fengqing and the others didn't get too close to the city. Instead, they kept releasing their auras to provoke the city. Before Yao Kuei came out, they didn't dare to attack the city. If they were attacked by Yao Kuei, they wouldn't be able to hold on. A bunch of trash. Do you dare to come and kill me? That good-for-nothing from last time was still a rank 8. In the end, he had to rely on betraying his partner to escape. Fong Ping didn't manage to kill you last time, but this time, you won't be able to escape. His name is Quara, right? What a piece of trash. Come out, I'm just an early stage rank 7, I can still kill you. Outside the city, Qin Fengqing cursed incessantly. During the battle at Skygate City, 2 rank 8 powerhouses from Monster Sunflower City went to help. In the end, one of them escaped. Before he left, he attacked the other rank 8, and that was how he escaped. After the battle, Elder Fan and the others had also publicized this matter in Monster Sunflower City. However, the person was already dead. Now that Quara was alive. If the city lord of Monster Sunflower City didn't say anything, no one else would dare to question Venerable Quara. Today, however, Qin Fengqing was cursing loudly. In the city, 2 rank 8 golden body powerhouses and 7 rank 7 martial artists were all using flight step. There was also one who was guarding the underground mineral vein. The faces of the 9 people were filled with anger. One of the golden body powerhouses even looked livid. Bastard. Quara cursed under his breath. Because of this matter, he had already been reprimanded by the city lord of Monster Sunflower City a few times. However, considering that he was a rank 8 and that the other party was already dead, dead people were worthless in the catacombs. Therefore, other than the Venerable's family who was hostile to him, even if the others knew that he had done this, they dared not say anything. Now, however, the resurrected martial artist opposite him had reopened his scars. Moreover, he was using the catacombs language. Despicable. Although his colleagues beside him did not say anything, Quara could feel that something was different. Now that a great battle had broken out, these people would not fight with him. Instead, they would stay far away from him, worried that he would come again. Even Quara wanted to attack immediately and kill the bastard opposite him. However, the king had not given the order, so he dared not act rashly. At this moment, he could only listen to the other party's curses. Gueluo did not speak. Next to him, another rank 8 powerhouse said, Hope City has 2 venerables and 5 commander-level martial artists. If they're really going to fight, Gueluo, you keep that middle stage venerable occupied. Hearing that, Quara sneered in his heart. Middle stage venerable martial artists were bandits at the border. Early stage venerable martial artists were Lu Po Lu. Did this guy really think that he was stupid to leave the strongest to him? However, Quara agreed quickly and said, Okay. Since this guy wanted to deal with the others, then let him be. Quara had already seen a few familiar faces among the 5 commander-level powerhouses. Tang Feng, Lu Fengru, Li Hansong, Huang Jing. These few people, including the guy who scolded him, were all familiar faces. During the battle in Monster Wood City, these people had all held divine weapons and held them back, including Lu Po Lu, the former commander level, now a venerable, had also held a divine weapon that day. He might not be weaker than a middle-stage venerable martial artist. As for Ko Bianjiang, he was also familiar with him. Both parties had fought a few times. Although he was a middle-stage rank 8, he did not have a divine weapon. Ko Bianjiang did not have a divine weapon, so it was not that difficult to deal with him. Seeing that Quara agreed readily, the others did not say anything. Quara sneered again in his heart. It was really embarrassing for him to be the only one humiliated. However, if these guys were to suffer a little, then he would not be the only one humiliated. As for casualties, it would not be that easy. The king was still here, and the tutelary had not made a move. The other party only had a longevity swordsman. It would not be easy to kill them. While he was thinking, in midair, Monster Sunflower City's governor roared, "Sunflower Guardian, attack!" Monster Sunflower City's governor was very aggrieved. Indeed, he was not a match. In front of the two royal court highnesses, he was suppressed by the longevity swordsman. In front of the city people, he was suppressed and beaten. His dignity was swept away. Just now, he was prepared to fight alone, at least to maintain some dignity as a king. Even if the foreign king was not as good as the restricted area king, he could not be too humiliated. However, the longevity swordsman was stronger. If this went on, it would be even more humiliating. Useless! Old Man Lee laughed loudly. Then a long sword pierced through the air, slashing at his head. The void rift appeared again. The sword's aftershock penetrated the city directly, and the city walls collapsed. At this time, inside the city, a huge sunflower soared into the sky, charging toward Old Man Lee, Qin Fengqing, and the others retreated, waiting for Old Man Lee to fight with them, holding them back to prevent these people from getting involved in their battle. One man and one demon met. As soon as they met, Monster Sunflower City's governor roared, and the materialized object appeared. It was also a monster sunflower. The materialized object instantly merged with Monster Sunflower, and Monster Sunflower's aura sword. Child's play. Old Man Lee sneered. This was the auxiliary cultivation method of the foreign city governors of Monster Plant King Court and Monster Life King Court. They cultivated together with the monster plants and monsters. When both parties cooperated, the materialized object would merge into the monster's body, making the monster stronger. However, this kind of combat method was only suitable when there were fewer opponents. If it was 2 against 2 now, Monster Sunflower City's governor would be slightly weaker if he did this, and he would be easily killed. In the blink of an eye, 2 men and 1 demon were entangled together. Old Man Lee's sword's aura soared into the sky. The aftershock did not even consider, spreading in all directions. On the other side, when Qin Fengqing and the others saw Old Man Lee holding back 2 rank 9s, they did not say a word. One by one, they took out their divine weapons and charged toward the people in the city. Those powerhouses did not dare to fight in the city. Monster Sunflower City's governor roared, "Get out of the city and fight." As soon as he said that, Monster Sunflower City's powerhouses flew out of the city, fighting with Li Hansong and the others. In the forest, Fang Ping felt a little regretful. Too bad I can't make a move now. Otherwise, in this situation, if he used his golden house to cover them, these 2 rank 8s and 7 rank 7s would not be able to escape. Forget it. They're all weaklings. It doesn't matter if I kill them now or not. The 2 rank 8s were both middle stage rank 8. They had just entered rank 8 third refinement, similar to Fang Ping. Their strength control was also average, not as good as Fang Ping's now. Even if they were to fight, these 2 were not Fang Ping's match. If they were not Fang Ping's match, then they were not a threat to him. As for Ko Bianjiang and the others, they were not a threat either. Lu Polu was holding a rank 9 divine weapon. Iron Head was also wearing a divine armor. It did not matter if 2 rank 7s were missing. Old Huang was also a peak rank 7 martial artist. Monster Sunflower City's manpower was not enough. However, Fang Ping still frowned slightly. In the city, there seemed to be many high-ranked martial artists' auras. Now that he was outside the city, he could feel it more clearly. Under the aura fluctuations, he could feel it. There are actually 2 rank 8s and 5 rank 7s. Fang Ping frowned. If that was the case, it would be a little troublesome. Old Man Lee and the rest probably felt it too. However, these people seemed to have some concerns and did not show up. If that was the case, Old Man Lee and the rest did not retreat. If these people really wanted to attack, it would not be too late to retreat then. Where did so many powerhouses come from? Could it be people from the restricted area? Other than people from the restricted area, people from other cities would not mobilize so many powerhouses to support Monster Sunflower City. Not to mention that this ambush was decided at the last minute. Whatever, I'll take advantage of the big battle and enter the city first. At this moment, the powerhouses were fighting outside the city. Old Man Lee dragged the two rank 9s, fighting further and further away. Luring these rank 9s away also made things easier for Fong Ping. Under the night sky, Fong Ping's figure moved. He did not choose to dig a hole. Instead, he made a detour and went straight to the other side of the city wall. The current him was extremely fast. Rank 9s might still be able to sense some movement if he hit his aura, but others could not. Digging a hole to enter the city was a thing of the past. This time, he was not interested in the mineral vein. Otherwise, he could directly enter and kill the rank 7 guarding the city. Then, Fong Ping could dig away a large portion of the mineral vein. In the residence of the city lord, the youth was still pacing back and forth. Fong Ping sensed 2 rank 8s and 5 rank 7s. They were indeed people from the restricted area. The youth and Fong Miesheng were both rank 7s. There were also 2 rank 8s and 3 rank 7s escorting them here. This time, there were no rank 9 powerhouses escorting them. On Fong Miesheng's side, most of the god generals under King Feng's command had been killed. Now, there were only 3 of them left. They all had important matters to attend to and could not escort them. As for the youth, although the current Monster Plants King Court's lord still led the Monster Plants King Court in name, it was not that easy for him to order a rank 9 around. It was still possible for the lord to order them around. However, it was extremely difficult for his son to be escorted by a rank 9 when he went out to be a messenger. This time, there were only 2 rank 8 powerhouses escorting them into the outskirts. Fong Miesheng looked at the youth pacing back and forth. He raised his head and looked at the sky, saying somewhat irritably, "Your Highness, we have the upper hand. It seems like a battle between god generals has erupted over at Monster Phoenix City. MCMAU's Snake King should be occupied. There's no danger." The youth frowned. "I'm not afraid of anything. However, there are frequent battles here. It's better to leave as soon as possible. This time, we'll escort Monster Sunflower City and the other city's geniuses back to the king's court immediately. The personnel from the other cities have been confirmed. Monster Sunflower City is the last stop. When we're done here, we can naturally return to the king's court." Fong Miesheng continued, "I hope that there will be a few true geniuses among the people we're escorting this time." At this point, Fong Miesheng frowned. Not many of these so-called geniuses from the outskirts can enter the commander level. If we don't produce a few more commander-level geniuses this time, we'll be looked down upon again. The youth said casually, "It's all Fong Ping's fault. This B***starred slaughtered so many genius martial artists in the battleground of the king's court. Otherwise, why would he? Fong Ping." Fong Miesheng's face turned ashen when he said Fong Ping's name. Not only was he targeting Fong Ping, but he was also targeting the youth. He said with an ugly expression, "Li Yi, are you blaming me?" The youth seemed to be stunned for a moment. Then he said unhappily, "Fong Miesheng, I don't think so. I just hate Fong Ping. He killed a lot of geniuses. What does it have to do with you?" Humph. Fong Miesheng let out a soft humph. Earlier, he had called him Your Highness. Now, he was too lazy to be polite and called him by his name. This guy never thought before he spoke. Was he trying to embarrass him by mentioning Fong Ping now? As the two of them were talking, a rank 8 powerhouse beside them suddenly turned his head to look. His gaze was slightly suspicious. Just now, there seemed to be some movement in the backyard of the city lord's mansion. However, the city was very chaotic now. The guards in the backyard of the city lord's mansion were also on high alert. It was not strange for there to be some movement. In the backyard, Fong Ping had already snuck in. He felt a little regretful. Feng Miesheng. He sensed Feng Miesheng's aura. What a pity. The other party was with a few rank 8s. Otherwise, it would be better if he killed Feng Miesheng and replaced him. However, these people might not split up now. If he killed them by force, he would be exposed. If he dragged this on, when Old Man Li and the rest left and the rank 9s returned, he would not have a chance anymore. Forget it. I'll spare your life. Feng Miesheng is an idiot. He's a dead man. It's fine if I don't kill him. Sooner or later, he'll be my scapegoat. Fong Ping felt that it was not a bad idea to not kill Feng Miesheng. He could not get too close to the true king. Feng Miesheng was the Maple King's biological grandson. If he killed him, he might come into contact with the Maple King. It would be easy to be exposed. People from the outer realms were still the best. Outsiders did not understand the restricted area. Even if they went in and did something a little out of line, it would not be surprising. However, people from the restricted area like Feng Miesheng were familiar with the place. They were familiar with many people in the restricted area. If they did something unusual, they would be discovered easily. I'll replace the outsiders. This is the first time I've entered the restricted area. I should at least give myself some basic information. Fong Ping had a plan in his mind. He began to search. After a while, in the golden house, Fong Ping looked at the youth in front of him, who was still a little dazed. He smiled and said, "Sit. You are..." The youth was also a rank 6 martial artist. However, he was extremely dazed at this moment. He was still in the house just now. How did he suddenly appear in the darkness? In the golden house, Fong Ping covered the original appearance of the house, leaving only darkness. Upon seeing this, he smiled and said, "Sit down and talk. I'm under Lord Huai King." This time, Lord Feng King sent Prince Feng to Monster Sunflower City. King Huai was worried and sent me to investigate. There are some things that you're better off not knowing. I've already said this. If you ask again, you won't be able to escape death. Now, tell me everything about Prince Feng coming to Monster Sunflower City. Don't leave out any of his actions. The youth's face was full of fear. A venerable under King Huai King's command. Monster Sunflower City and King Huai King had a dirty relationship. Last time, King Huai King wanted Monster Sunflower City's city lord to help in the battle against Monsterwood City. In the end, Monster Sunflower City's city lord refused and did not send anyone to help. King Huai King was furious. Moreover, it involved a dispute between true kings. The youth was frightened and uneasy. He said nervously, "Sir, then this is my indestructible god space." "Don't worry. The 2 god generals have already left. No one will find out. The 2 venerables that Prince Feng brought are no match for me." Fong Ping smiled. His expression turned cold. "All right, don't waste time. Tell me quickly. I don't have time to waste with you." The youth was shocked. Indestructible god space. King Huai King had such a powerhouse under his command. The so-called indestructible god space was a materialized object. However, it was a materialized object that contained space. Such a materialized object was extremely rare. The youth did not know if Fong Ping's identity was real or fake, but it was a fact that he was very strong. In addition, he was only asking about Feng Miesheng's situation. The youth hesitated and did not dare to ask Fong Ping to produce an item to prove his identity. There was no need for that. It was almost impossible to ask such a powerhouse under King Huai King to prove his identity. At this moment, the youth was worried that Fong Ping would silence him. He was not in a hurry to talk about Feng Miesheng. Instead, he quickly said, "My name is Kuei Ming. My father is Venerable Kuei Luo. He leads the Royal City Imperial Guards. Sir, if anything happens to me, my father will definitely find out. Sir, since you've entered the 7 Southern Territory, there will be records of the passage between the 7 Southern Territory and Mount Royal Sea. I dare not get involved in anything between the true kings. I only hope that after you know everything, you can spare my life. Sir, don't worry. I dare not speak nonsense about what happened to Prince Feng. Once I expose him, I will also be implicated, and my father will be implicated. I won't dare to speak nonsense about something that could cost my life." Fong Ping laughed. "You're a smart man, so you're Venerable Kuei Luo's son. Never mind. Venerable Kuei Luo went to battle last time. He was also doing Lord King Huai King a favor. There's no harm in sparing your life." The youth was overjoyed when he heard that. His father had participated in the Battle of Monsterwood City last time and almost died. Now it seemed that it was not without its benefits. The venerable under-king, Huai King, also knew about this. Perhaps he could take the opportunity to profit. His father was being ostracized now because of the repercussions of the previous battle. Should he ask this venerable to pass on the message that his father was also a rank 8 venerable powerhouse? Perhaps he could rely on King Huai King? The youth did not dare delay as he thought about this. Because he had the intention to rely on King Huai King, he did not leave out a single detail when he talked about Feng Miesheng. Fong Ping listened attentively and asked questions frequently. As for whether this fellow was speaking the truth or not, he would find out later when he asked someone. However, old man Li still had to make this place a little more chaotic. Otherwise, it would be hard to explain if someone was missing. I hope old man Li is reliable. Fong Ping prayed in his heart and began to seriously memorize everything the youth said. Please remember the domain name of this book, 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 718. Kuei Ming, Kuei Luo's son, middle stage rank 6. His father, Kuei Luo, was the commander-in-chief of Monster Sunflower City's Royal City's Imperial Guards. In Monster Sunflower City, other than the 2 rank 9 powerhouses, Kuei Luo was the most trusted subordinate of the Monster Sunflower City's castellan. After all, to be in charge of the Royal City's Imperial Guards was to protect the Royal City and the House of Castellan. It could be seen from Kuei Ming living in the House of Castellan. Kuei Luo did not have his own house, but he had his own courtyard in the backyard of the House of Castellan. Fong Ping entered Kuei Luo's house. This time, Feng Miesheng and Li Yi represented the Monster Plant's royal court, coming to the outer area to select genius martial artists to enter the restricted area. Li Yi, Fong Ping had some thoughts in his mind. Monster Plant's royal court's crown prince, the son of the Lord King that even old Zhang valued, a cowardly, arrogant, and ignorant fellow in Kuei Ming's words. Kuei Ming did not say it clearly, but the meaning behind his words was that he looked down on Li Yi. After listening for a while, Fong Ping muttered, "Cowardly, arrogant, and conceited." He had heard from old Zhang, an old man, Li, that when the war broke out in the Magic City catacombs, Li Yi and Feng Miesheng overestimated themselves and brought people to kill old man Li. In the end, they were chased by old man Li until they pissed their pants. Is he really arrogant and cowardly? Fong Ping was suspicious. There were people like this, and there were many of them. There was no lack of such people in the history books. Many of the dynasty's crown princes were useless. This was very common. There was no shortage of people who were extremely shrewd. Endure, Lie low, wait for the right time. What kind of person was Li Yi? Forget it. Ignore him. Just be careful. In the martial arts world, strength was the most important, and strategy was secondary. Li Yi was only rank 7. He had not reached that stage yet. A desperate old Zhang, who was scheming and plotting, was scary. After asking for a while, Fang Ping suddenly said, "What combat skills are you good at? Show me." Kuei Ming's eyes revealed a hint of suspicion. Combat skills? Why was he asking about combat skills? Fang Ping frowned. Just use them. Did your father, Kuei Luo, teach you combat skills? If it is, then show it to me. I want to see just how powerful Venerable Sunflower's battle technique is. Combat skills also represent an expert's comprehension of the martial Tao. This sovereign wants to see how far your father is from the divine general realm. With these words, Kuei Ming felt much more at ease. Soon, he executed a set of battle techniques. There was a slight difference between the cultivation systems of humans and the catacombs' martial artists, but essentially they were about the same. Battle techniques were also a form of utilization of power. Humans used vitality force, while catacombs' martial artists used energy force. In the past, Fang Ping might not have been able to tell anything. Now, however, once the sunflower combat technique was unleashed, Fang Ping could sense the general situation in detail. It was a recombination of energy. In terms of strength control and understanding, Kuei Ming, a rank 6 martial artist, naturally paled in comparison to Fang Ping. While Kuei Ming was executing his combat technique, Fang Ping began to simulate the way Kuei Ming combined his strength. Very quickly, a ball of energy appeared in Fang Ping's hand. It looked like a tree root or a whip. Fang Ping unleashed a move. The energy tree whip lashed out with an explosive sound. In the Golden House, it was Fang Ping's materialized object that had a shielding effect. Otherwise, such a loud noise would have been discovered long ago. When Kuei Ming saw Fang Ping executing the same move as him, he was slightly dazed. Very quickly, his face filled with reverence, he said hurriedly, "Sir, you have great foresight. I have shown you my incompetence." Fang Ping frowned slightly. "That's it? Although it's not bad, the efficiency in unleashing strength is very low. Is this the only combat technique Venerable Kuei Luo could create? If that's all, then this sovereign is too disappointed." The strength of a combat technique depended on the effectiveness of one's strength. Control was control. Unleashing was unleashing. Vitality 10,000 calories, control 5,000 calories. Without the combination of combat technique reorganization, 5,000 calories was just 5,000 calories. However, the existence of combat techniques was to unleash the 5,000 calories vitality to greater effect, to carry out amplification. The greater the amplification, the stronger the combat technique. Therefore, powerhouses who created powerful combat techniques had extremely high control of their own strength. They also had a deep understanding of the essence of strength. This combat technique, created by Kuei Luo, was just average. Seeing this, Kuei Ming hurriedly said, "Sir, this is the Outland after all. My father's knowledge is shallow. Naturally, he can't be compared to you, sir. Sir, you've been serving under Sir King Huai. You've seen a lot of things. You've seen a lot of king-level powerhouses. My father has always been under King Kuei's command. He hasn't even left monster Sunflower City a few times. Naturally, he can't compare to you, sir." Kuei Ming tried to flatter him, but he also gave an explanation in passing. It was inevitable that the knowledge of powerhouses from the Outland was not as good as that of the restricted zone powerhouses. There were many rank 9s in the restricted zone. Under a true king's command, there were at least 5 to 6 rank 9s. At most, there were more than 10 rank 9s. In the Outland, there were 2 in a city. One of them was a demon. Their cultivation system was different from theirs. In other words, in the Outland, there was actually only one rank 9 powerhouse in a city. And this rank 9 was high and mighty, known as a king. Under such circumstances, it was impossible to count on these kings to guide you. Therefore, most of the powerhouses in the Outland fumbled on their own. At Kue Luo's level, under normal circumstances, the city lord would be kind if he did not suppress you. Why would he guide you and let you enter rank 9 to compete with him? Seeing this, Fong Ping did not say anything else. He asked again, "Are you going to participate in the championship tomorrow?" Kue Ming hurriedly smiled and said, "I was lucky enough to get a place." Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. "Got a place?" Following Kue Ming's explanation, Fong Ping understood. Shady. The law of the jungle was even more obvious in the catacombs. If the son of a rank 8 powerhouse wanted to enter the restricted zone, naturally it would not be too troublesome. Monster Sunflower City's city lord had children. However, he did not have many descendants. Moreover, for the children of rank 9 powerhouses to enter the restricted zone, it would not be too troublesome. In other words, the children of rank 8 participating in the youth championship were the ones with the greatest background. Kue Ming had already secured a place. He was just putting on an act. Tomorrow, those geniuses from the outer city and royal city would compete for the places to enter the top 10. On Kue Ming's side, there were 2 other youths with similar status to him who would participate. There would be a total of 13 people competing for 10 places. At this moment, Kue Ming still did not know that Li and had promised 2 more places. Previously, it was announced that there were 10 places, 13 people competing for 10 places. Among them, the other geniuses from the outer city and royal city were not all rank 6. There were some rank 5. Among them, 3 would be eliminated. That was why Kue Ming said that he had secured a place, because it was almost impossible for them to be eliminated. At this point, Fong Ping continued to ask questions. At this moment, Kue Ming felt that something was wrong. Fong Ping asked him how he usually interacted with his father, whether he was familiar with King Sunflower, how he addressed him in the residence of the city lord, who were his acquaintances, his daily life. These did not match what Fong Ping had said before. Previously, Fong Ping said that he wanted to find out information about Fong extermination. Now, however, a venerable powerhouse was so concerned about the life of a rank 6 martial artist. Why was this? Seeing that Kue Ming seemed puzzled, Fong Ping said in a low voice, "Since you want to enter the restricted zone, enter the royal court, and coincidentally, I ran into you. Kue Ming, are you willing to join Lord Huai King and work for him?" Kue Ming was stunned for a moment. Then he was overjoyed. "I am willing." "Then your current mission is to enter King Maple's service. At this time, I need to understand everything about you in detail. If I don't understand everything about you, how can I believe that you have the ability to enter King Maple's inner circle? Without the corresponding ability, it's fine if you die, but if you ruin King Huai's plan, your death will not be regretted. Tell me in detail about your situation. Let me see if you are up to the task." Kue Ming's face showed a hint of struggle. Enter King Maple's inner circle? That was a true king. Fong Ping said again, "Don't worry, you are not qualified to come into contact with King Maple. I only want you to follow Fong extermination. Fong extermination is a good-for-nothing, but he covets the throne of the royal court. We need to obtain all the information about him. Whether you can hide from Fong extermination depends on your ability. If you can't even hide from Fong extermination, you are also a good-for-nothing. Lord Huai King does not need good-for-nothings. If you want to stand out, if you want to go out, if you want to become a city lord in the future, then you need to show your ability. I'm giving you the opportunity. Whether you can grasp it or not depends on you. Kuei Ming no longer cared about Fang Ping's question. King Huai King wanted him to become a spy and enter King Maple's inner circle. This mission was extremely dangerous. However, this was also the only way to enter King Huai King's line of sight. Even his father could not easily come into contact with a true king powerhouse. A rank 8 powerhouse was not weak. Achieving a golden body made them much stronger than a rank 7. However, there was no shortage of powerhouses in the restricted area. There were only so many true kings who did not want to come into contact with a true king. Perhaps they could gain a lot and enter divine general, or even true king. Fang Ping wanted him to show his ability and understand his detailed information. Kuei Ming was no longer surprised. Instead, he felt that Fang Ping was not being perfunctory and was very serious. Otherwise, a rank 8 powerhouse did not need to know these things. He was not an important person, although his father was also a rank 8. He was only a rank 8 from the outer circle. There was nothing worth Fang Ping's scheming. Next, Kuei Ming began to explain his situation. Agreeing to Fang Ping and becoming a pawn under King Huai King's command to stand out was also what everyone wanted. Otherwise, even if he entered the restricted area, he would still be an insignificant nobody. Clearly, King Maple did not think much of a nobody like him. Not to mention King Maple, people like Feng Extermination were extremely arrogant. These few days, he had tried to curry favor with them. In the end, Feng Extermination looked down on him, a martial artist who was only a middle-stage martial general. And now, the opportunity had come. Fang Ping listened while calculating the time, sensing the movements in the outside world. Old Man Li's long howl had sounded 3 times, which meant that he could not hold on any longer. He was fighting against 2 rank 9s who were both powerhouses of the origin path. Although he was strong, he could not hold on for too long. Moreover, if the battle dragged on, powerhouses from other cities would be easily mobilized. After estimating the time, Fang Ping nodded slightly and smiled. Not bad. Although I still don't understand enough. It's enough. Kuei Ming's face lit up with joy, but very quickly the joy froze. Fang Ping was straightforward. Without hesitation, he destroyed Kuei Ming's mentality. With the ability of a rank 8, it was not difficult to kill a rank 6. After killing this guy, Fang Ping kept the guy's corpse into his space. Fang Ping changed into his clothes and rubbed his cheeks hard. The muscles in his body began to wriggle, and his cells began to reorganize. After a while, Fang Ping appeared in the room. In the room, Fang Ping looked at himself in the crystal mirror. Just like Kuei Ming, his short hair grew instantly. The color of his hair changed slightly, and soon he was no different from Kuei Ming. The aura on his body was also the same as Kuei Ming's. There was no difference. What Kuei Ming said might not be true. I still need to find someone to verify it. Fang Ping was not sure if everything Kuei Ming said was true. This guy might not be able to tell if he had mixed in some lies. He had to find someone to verify it. The backyard of the House of Castellan was still in chaos. A large number of Imperial guards were on high alert, patrolling the backyard. Fang Ping walked out of the room. Very soon, a group of Imperial guards passed by. When they saw Fang Ping, they hurriedly greeted, "Young Commander, it's chaotic outside." "Young Commander, please don't go out, just in case." Fang Ping nodded slightly. His expression was solemn and grim. With some worry, he lifted his head and looked outside the city, muttering, "I wonder if Father is safe." Among the Imperial guards, the leading general said hurriedly, "The King and Lord Guardian have already defeated Longevity's sword." The commander-in-chief has also gained the upper hand. Very soon, he will return victorious. Young commander, don't worry. I know. I don't need you to talk too much. Stand down. Yes. Although this person was also a rank 6 martial artist, he dared not say much at this moment. He immediately led his men and left. At the same time, outside the city, while Qin Fengqing was killing, he transmitted his voice, "Ironhead, we have to kill our way into the House of Castellan, create some chaos, and kill some people." Li Hansong sent a rank 7 martial artist flying with a punch. He transmitted his voice, "This is a little troublesome. There are still many powerhouses in the House of Castellan. There are even 2 rank 8 martial artists. This is not expected. There's no other way. I have to go. How about you go, and I help you keep an eye on them?" Li Hansong was speechless. "It's also very troublesome if I go, okay?" However, according to Fang Ping's previous plan, he would enter the House of Castellan and look for an opportunity to find a replacement. It would be peaceful if he did not create any chaos. Once again, Fang Ping did not find a replacement. He killed a few more people. He could not possibly let people die for no reason, right? With a sweep of a rank 9 powerhouses mentality, it would be clear whether there were more or less people in the House of Castellan. If that happened, Fang Ping's plan would be problematic. Kill. Li Hansong did not think any further. With a loud roar, he hugged a rank 7 martial artist. With this hug, Lu Fengru and the rest did not care about the others at all. One after another, they attacked Li Hansong. Big moves erupted. Rumble. With a loud bang, Li Hansong's divine armor flashed with golden light. The rank 7 who was hugged was already smashed into minced meat. Seeing this, Qin Fengqing roared, "Go and rob the House of Castellan. There are sunflower seeds in the House of Castellan. Go! How dare you?" The people of Monster Sunflower City roared. These people had the guts to want to kill their way into the city. In midair, Monster Sunflower City's city lord and Monster Sunflower were suppressing Li Changsheng. However, Old Man Li roared, "Hand over 1,000 sunflower seeds, and I will retreat now. Otherwise, I will definitely kill you this time." Bastard! Both Monster Sunflower City's city lord and Monster Sunflower were furious. So that was it. Longevity soared, and the others attacked the city for the sunflower fruits. Monster Sunflower City's city lord was about to explode. Sunflower fruits were ineffective against rank 9 martial artists. They had almost no effect on rank 8 martial artists. However, the effect on middle and rank 7 martial artists was not weak. He did not expect Longevity's sword to come for this. Moreover, he asked for 1,000 seeds right off the bat. Did he really think that there were a lot of sunflower fruits? Old Man Li did not care about this. He roared, "Hand it over or not. If you don't, I will attack the city every day. Elder Ko, Elder Lu, go to the House of Castellan and take the sunflower seeds. There must be some in the House of Castellan." As soon as he finished speaking, he roared, "Those fellows from the restricted area. If you dare to attack, I will kill you. Why don't you just ask Monster Sunflower City to hand over the sunflower seeds, and we will retreat immediately. You have a death wish." Monster Sunflower City's city lord and Monster Sunflower City were enraged. They attacked Li Changsheng one after another. Void energy exploded again and again. Although Old Man Li flew backward, he managed to hold his ground. It was just like when they surrounded and killed the Skygate tree. At their level, they could defeat and suppress their opponents. However, it was extremely difficult to kill them. The House of Castellan. Li cursed softly. He could not help but say, "Why don't we give them some sunflower fruits and ask them to leave?" "Your Highness, you can't. The few bodyguards shook their heads hastily. Feng Mieshing's expression was ugly as well. He said, "No. How can we compromise with a martial artist who has resurrected? If this gets out, it will be a great crime in the royal court. You and I will be no exception." Li said angrily, "But if this goes on, what if Monster Sunflower City can't stop the longevity sword, and they invade the city? What should we do? When we leave, who cares how they kill us? Feng Mieshing, do you want to die here?" Feng Mieshing frowned. He said coldly, "It's not that bad yet. I won't attack them anyway." As Li Yi spoke, she looked at the bodyguards beside her and said, "You guys are not allowed to attack them either. Be careful of these fellows luring you away and plotting against me. If they want to snatch the sunflower fruits, then let them. We're only here as guests. We're not here to help Monster Sunflower City defend against a strong enemy. Feng Mieshing, I'm leaving the House of Castellan to hide somewhere else. Are you coming?" Li Yi. Feng Mieshing was furious. Useless. Was he that afraid of death? He was running away before the battle even started. At this moment, the longevity sword was blocked. The ones who came were only a group of rank 7 and 8 martial artists. Moreover, although Monster Sunflower City had lost a commander-level powerhouse, the others were still alive. If they worked together with these people, they would have a chance of killing this group of people. Li Yi was running away, while Li Yi was moving. She said, "There's a saying in the land of rebirth, the son of a rich family does not sit under the eaves." Who are we? Fighting with these people, even if he perished together with them, even if he killed a few people. So what? If we have to fight, we have to fight against the descendants of the true monarchs. Those are the ones who are worth risking our lives for. Feng Mieshing, if you're willing, you can do it. I'm leaving." Feng Mieshing said, with a smile, "You can do it if you want. I'm leaving." As soon as he said that, Feng exterminations will to fight instantly dissipated. Yes, who were they? The descendant of the true king, the son of the king lord. If he wanted to kill someone, he would kill the descendants of the true kings. If he wanted to kill someone, he would kill a peerless prodigy martial artist like Fang Ping. If he wanted to kill someone, he had to kill someone like Li Changsheng. Were the others worth killing? If something were to happen in the outer realms, then the gains would not make up for the losses. For some sunflower fruits, it was not worth it. At the thought of this, Feng Mieshing snorted softly and did not say anything else. He retreated with Li Yi and the rest, avoiding the mansion of the city lord first. These people left quickly. In midair, the Monster Sunflower City lord, who was fighting, sensed it immediately. He was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Be *starred. D*MN it. 2 venerables and 5 chieftains. This was comparable to the strength of the people from the land of rebirth. Together with the 2 venerables and many chieftains in the city, even if they could not kill this group of people, they could still keep them out of the city. But these people had actually run away. D*MN it. The people from the restricted area were all *stards. All of them deserved to die. Usually they gave them orders, not caring about the casualties in the outer realms. When it was time to risk their lives, these people were actually afraid of death to this extent. But this time, Feng Mieshing and Li Yi's identities were extremely important. If something really happened here, he would not be able to explain. Although the Monster Sunflower City Lord was furious, if the other party really left, he had nothing to say. Now, while fighting, he shouted, "There are no sunflowers in the city. Longevity sword, how dare you attack and kill the people in the city? From now on, I will no longer care about any rules. I will attack and kill martial artists from the land of rebirth every day and night." Old Man Li laughed loudly. "We won't be like you. Old Lu only attacked the mansion of the city lord. Don't kill those small fries. Kill those who block the way. As soon as he said that, Qin Fengqin and the rest who were fighting in the city shouted, "Weaklings get lost. Those who block the way shall die. We will only attack the mansion of the city lord." The monster Sunflower City Lord was furious. Suddenly, he stopped talking. The materialized object suddenly emerged from Monster Sunflower's body and entered his body instantly. In the next moment, the Monster Sunflower City Lord unleashed a powerful attack. Monster Sunflower, on the other hand, prepared to withdraw and return to the city to kill these people. Old Man Li had expected this. His long sword pierced through the air, blocking its path. He shouted, "1 minute! 1 minute, retreat!" These words were not only said to Qin Fengqin and the rest, but also to Fang Ping in the city. 1 minute at most. He had to leave. If he did not leave now, he might not be in trouble. However, he could not keep 2 rank, 9 occupied, under such a huge consumption. Once they escaped, Qin Fengqin and the rest would be in danger. Quick, attack the mansion of the city lord and snatch the sunflower seeds. Everyone shouted one after another. Yet Kuei Luo and the rest looked powerless, retreating as they fought. Initially, they thought that these people came to kill, to fight to the death. Then, of course, they would fight to the death. However, these people actually came for the sunflower seeds. There were some left in the mansion of the city lord, but very few. These people were going to retreat soon. If they insisted on fighting to the death at this time, what if they died? It was better to wait for the king and the Lord Protector to repel longevity, sword before making plans. Hence, 2 rank 8s and 5 rank 7s suppressed these people and fought them into the city. At this moment, the residents and imperial guards in the city were also retreating hurriedly. The battle between these high-ranked powerhouses was not something they could stop. In the mansion of the city lord, Fang Ping caught an imperial guard general by surprise, interrogated him about some things, and quickly destroyed the corpse and erased the evidence. He had also heard Old Man Li's shout. When he saw Qin Fengqin and the rest charging in his direction, Fang Ping's gaze flickered slightly. He did not stay in the mansion of the city lord, but quickly ran in the direction where Feng Miesheng and the rest had retreated. As soon as those fellows ran, he sensed it. As he chased in that direction, Fang Ping shouted, "Monster Sunflower Corps, follow me out of the palace and protect the 2 highnesses." Having said that, almost 100 Imperial Guard martial artists gathered behind him. Fang Ping did not waste any time. He took the flight step and immediately led his men out of the mansion of the city lord to protect Feng Miesheng and the rest. Although these fellows were all high-ranked, at this time a little flattery might be effective. Feng Miesheng and the rest did not run far. Very soon, Fang Ping saw their silhouettes. He shouted from afar, "Your Highness, I'm late." "Monster Sunflower Corps, protect your Highness." Fang Ping shouted his orders. In front, Feng Miesheng and Li Yi frowned. "Do we need your protection?" Moreover, these fellows made such a big fuss. Aren't they telling others that they ran away? For a moment, Feng Miesheng's gaze toward Fang Ping was extremely unfriendly. Fang Ping did not care about that. He landed in front of Feng Miesheng and Li Yi in an instant. With a Changdao in his hand and his back facing them, he looked at the battlefield in the distance with a vigilant expression. He said in a low voice, "Don't worry, your highnesses. Although I'm not a high-ranked powerhouses match, I'm willing to fight for your highnesses until the end." Feng Miesheng frowned slightly, but did not say anything. He snorted coldly in his heart. Flatterer. If they really came, he did not believe that these people could fight to the end. However, these people would be leaving soon. Feng Miesheng and the rest did not leave either. They stood outside the mansion of the city lord and watched the battle in the sky. The monster Sunflower City Lord and Monster Sunflower were about to completely suppress Li Changsheng. If Li Changsheng and the rest did not leave, it would not just be a problem of the rank 7 and 8 powerhouses being left behind. At this moment, in midair, Qin Fengqing slashed downwards, smashing some of the buildings in the mansion of the city lord. He gritted his teeth and roared, "Kill! Kill all these fellows and snatch the sunflower seeds." Li Hansong also blasted downwards with a punch. Some of the people in the mansion of the city lord who did not run were killed instantly. However, in the distance, Li Changsheng was already roaring, "Retreat quickly! Powerhouses are coming to help. Stop them! Make them stay!" The monster Sunflower City Lord roared too. A few hundred li away, rank 9 powerhouses from another city had come to help. "Retreat!" Ko Bianjiang roared, retreating as he fought. Qin Fengqing was still reluctant to leave. He said unwillingly, "I haven't snatched the sunflower seeds yet. Let's go. There's still a chance next time." Li Hansong did not know if this was enough. However, if he did not retreat now, it would be too late. As for whether Fang Ping could pass, it would depend on his luck. At this moment, he did not know where Fang Ping was. At this moment, behind the mansion of the city lord, a rank 6 martial artist leaped into the sky, roaring, "Don't you dare hurt my father!" "Ming, stand down!" Kuei Luo roared. Was his son stupid? He was currently being suppressed by Lu Polu. The other party was wielding a rank 9 divine weapon and had injured his golden body. However, if the other party wanted to retreat, he would be fine. His son, a warlord martial artist, had suddenly appeared. Did he have a death wish? "Father!" Fang Ping did not care. He held the Changdao in his hand. Energy appeared on the Changdao, and he slashed at Lu Polu. There was a loud bang. In the void, a saber gleam that looked like a long whip was slashed. Lu Polu frowned slightly. He ignored the saber gleam and struck at Fang Ping casually, intending to kill this rank 6 martial artist. "Don't you dare!" Kuei Luo was furious. In an outburst, he attacked Lu Polu madly. At this moment, Fang Ping's saber gleam neared him. With a bang, it exploded on Lu Polu's body. An extremely fine wound appeared on Lu Polu's left arm. As for Fang Ping, he hurriedly dodged his casual attack. Seeing that he could not dodge it, Fang Ping roared and slashed more than 10 times in a row. With a bang, Fang Ping flew backward and fell to the ground, right in front of Feng Mieshing and the rest. Blood flowed from his mouth, his face pale. Feng Mieshing and Li Yi looked at each other. Their eyes lit up. This guy had injured a rank 8 with the strength of a middle-stage warlord. Although it was just a superficial wound that could not even withstand a casual attack from the other party was only a middle-stage warlord. His combat techniques were also extremely skilled, and his explosive power was extremely strong. They did not pay much attention to him before. Who knew that there was such a genius in the outer domain? Chapter 719. Ming, in midair, Aquillo's eyes reddened as he watched his son fall. It was not easy for golden body powerhouses to give birth to descendants. The stronger they were, the harder it was to give birth to descendants. Under normal circumstances, the descendants of those true king powerhouses were either born when they were weak or their spouses were also very powerful. Only under such circumstances could they give birth to descendants smoothly. However, it was difficult to meet such conditions in the outland. There were not many female powerhouses in the human world or the catacombs world. Naturally, there was no shortage of true king powerhouses. Female powerhouses could not wait for a true king to take a liking to them. However, it was not possible in the outland especially for a rank 8 martial artist like him. If a female powerhouse wanted to take a liking to a rank 8 powerhouse, it would be a city lord powerhouse. He would not have a chance. Aquilo only had this one descendant. Seeing his son being shot down by Lupolu, how could he hold it in? With red eyes, he attacked Lupolu madly. Meanwhile, Lupolu frowned slightly and growled, "Old Co, kill that kid. He was a genius." A rank 6 could actually injure his golden body. Even if he was only a first forging golden body, a middle stage rank 6 martial artist could not hurt him. Not everyone was like Li Chongsheng. On the other side, Ko Bianjiang cursed, "How do we kill him?" That kid had fallen to Feng Yexing and the rest. How could they kill him? 2 rank 8s and 5 rank 7s were there. It was good enough that they did not attack. Why would they attack them? Did they have a death wish? Retreat. In the distance, Li Chongxing shouted. If they did not retreat, he would not be able to hold on any longer. You want to leave? Not so easy. Monster Sunflower City's city lord was also trying his best to make Li Chongxing stay. The other city lord was less than 100 li away, Qin Fengqing, and the rest could not care less now. Li Hansong stayed at the back, letting the others attack him. Not only did he not defend, but he used the attack to grab Qin Fengqing and the rest and flew forward together. Kill! Kill! These rank 7 martial artists wanted to kill him. It was almost a fool's dream. There was not enough time, or else he would have worn them out. The harder the 6 rank 7s attacked, the faster he ran. At the back, Feng Yexing watched for a while and suddenly frowned. Li Hansong had been hiding in the armor the whole time, so he hadn't recognized him before. But now he felt a little familiar, especially when that guy hit people with his head. He realized that he had seen this guy before. The genius who was in cahoots with Fang Ping. Beside him, Li Yi did not care about that. She squatted down and stared at Fang Ping. She smiled and said, "Interesting. Feng Yexing, this fellow actually injured a venerable. Don't you think it's interesting?" Feng Yexing stared at Li Hansong for a while, then lowered his head to look at Fang Ping, who was still spewing blood. He frowned slightly. "Not bad, but his injuries are quite serious." Li Yi smiled and said nothing. This kind of injury was nothing. He wasn't dead, and the undying god wasn't injured, so there was no problem. A middle stage warlord martial artist could injure a rank 8. That was talent and a high level of control over power. Li Yi looked at Fang Ping for a while and said, "Someone give him some fountain of life." Beside him, a rank 8 powerhouse heard him and quickly poured some life essence for Fang Ping. Fang Ping gulped it down, then said with difficulty, "Thank you, Your Highness." Li Yi nodded slightly, stood up, and chuckled. "You have some ability. Enter the restricted area. When you reach the royal court, I still lack a gatekeeper. You'll do it." Beside her, Feng Yexing frowned slightly, but said nothing. Although a middle-stage rank 6 martial artist had decent ability, it was nothing in the restricted area. If this kid was rank 7, he might be tempted, but he was only rank 6 unless he reached rank 7 soon, then he could fight for it. While they were talking, Li Hansong had already led his men and ran all the way out of Royal City. Old Manly brought up the rear, holding back 2 rank 9 powerhouses. At this time, Old Manly caught a glimpse of Quiluo, who was still fighting Lu Polu. His gaze flickered. The kid who injured Lu Polu just now, was it Fang Ping? He did not know, but it was most likely Fang Ping. Quiluo was a rank 8 powerhouse. Once he came into contact with Fang Ping for a long time, he would easily notice something was wrong. He did not know if Fang Ping could sneak into the restricted area or how long it would take, but he could not give Quiluo the chance to interact with him for a long time. Thinking of this, The golden glow on Old Man Lee's longsword became sharp and piercing. Monster Sunflower City's lord and Monster Sunflower City's expressions changed slightly. At this time, Old Man Lee slashed with his sword. The sword gleam pierced through the air, heading straight for Quilluo. How dare you? Monster Sunflower City's lord roared. On the other side, Quilluo's face was also full of fear. He sobered up instantly, not daring to entangle Lu-Po-Lu anymore. His golden body shone brightly, the destructive force emerging. With a roar, he retreated hastily. Monster Sunflower City's lord also slashed with his sword, destroying Li Changxing's sword gleam. He only had 2 rank, 8 powerhouses under his command. Even though Quilluo had made a mistake earlier, he could not let Quilluo die. Rumble! An explosion sounded, and the void split open. Not far away, Lu-Po-Lu and Quilluo both spat out blood, both of them flying backward. Old Man Lee's silhouette pierced through the air, grabbing Lu-Po-Lu. His speed was extremely fast, catching up with Qin Feng Qing and the rest, dragging them as they flew toward Hope City. Monster Sunflower City's lord was just about to give chase when a rank 9 powerhouses aura appeared not far away. Wu Quishan was no longer guarding Hope City. Instead, he had rushed over to provide support. Snake King, Longevity Sword. Monster Sunflower City's lord was furious. He roared, "Since you want to fight, then let's fight. From today onwards, we won't rest until one of us is dead." Nonsense! In front, Old Man Lee sneered as he fled. "You speak as if there was a truce earlier. I'll wait for you to fight." Humph! Monster Sunflower City's lord did not give chase. His eyes were cold and fierce. The Longevity sword said that he was talking nonsense, but it was not nonsense. In the past, in the war between Monster Sunflower City and humans, battles between high ranks were rare. Monster Sunflower City mostly carried out the true king's orders. However, these people's attack on Monster Sunflower City today had thoroughly angered him. If that was the case, then future wars would no longer be small-scale battles. After this, he would definitely contact other cities to attack Hope City and Monsterwood City together. MCMEU's people asked for it. "Father!" In the city, Fong Ping drank the life essence. His injuries healed rapidly. Right now, he could not care less about the others. He leaped up and hugged Kuei Ming, who had fallen. Kuei Ming had just been hit by 2 rank 9s. Although he did not die, his injuries were not light. Right now, golden blood was rolling in his mouth. Many cracks had appeared on his golden body. "Father, cough, cough. I'm fine." Kuei Ming's face was pale. He glanced at Fong Ping and heaved a sigh of relief. He spat out a few more mouthfuls of blood and panted, "I'll be fine after resting for half a month." His injuries were not too serious. However, this time, he had endured the aftermath of 2 rank 9's attacks. Without 10 days to half a month, he would not be able to recover. Fong Ping panted heavily. When he heard that, Kuei Ming reprimanded him again. "Ming, don't mess around next time. If I didn't hold him back just now, you would have died long ago. How can you achieve great things if you're so impulsive?" Fong Ping said hurriedly, "I was just too angry. When I saw that father was hurt by him." Sigh. Kuei Ming sighed softly. He frowned slightly. "Has your induction convergence technique broken through?" "I've been diligently cultivating the induction convergence technique these days. I'm worried that I'll enter the restricted zone and embarrass father when I reach the royal court." Fong Ping said that, but he cursed in his heart. "I've called you father so many times. If you don't compensate me with your life, it won't be enough. Not only you better use Big Sunflower's life to compensate me. Don't say, 'It's very possible.' It's best not to expose this identity. I'll use it the next time I come back to kill all of you. The two of them put on a good show of a loving father and filial son. In midair, the monster Sunflower City, Lord landed. Kuei Ming also returned to his original position. The monster Sunflower City, Lord glanced at everyone. His expression did not look too good. A commander-in-chief had died in battle. In the past, it was really not a big deal. However, in the last battle at Monsterwood City, 6 out of 14 commander-in-chiefs died in battle. This time, another one died. Half of them were already dead. Seeing that Kuei Luo's injuries were not too serious, the monster Sunflower City Lord was relieved. If another venerable died in battle, then Monster Sunflower City's combat power would be greatly reduced. Kuei Luo, go back and recuperate. Recover from your injuries as soon as possible. King Kuei Luo glanced at his son. The monster Sunflower City Lord frowned slightly. Kuei Ming entering the restricted area is already a foregone conclusion. There won't be any changes. Go. Thank you, King. Kuei Luo hurriedly stood up and cupped his hands. Fong Ping followed suit and bowed, his face full of excitement. Although he was almost certain before, he was not completely sure. Now, he was 100% sure. The monster Sunflower City Lord did not say much. He glanced at Fong Ping and nodded slightly. Kuei Ming, don't be arrogant when you go to the royal court. There are countless geniuses in the royal court. Hurry up and thank the two highnesses for giving you a chance. Hearing that, Fong Ping immediately turned around and bowed to Feng Yexing and Kuei Ming to thank them. With a face full of respect, he said, "Thank you, your highnesses, for your help." Lian smiled faintly. There aren't many geniuses in the outer domain. You're considered to have some talent. No need to thank me. Cultivate well and enter the commander level as soon as possible. If you don't become a commander level, you're all trash and a waste of resources. Your subordinate will definitely not let your highness down. Li yawned and did not say anything else. Her expression was languid. On the side, Feng Yexing looked at the city lord's mansion beside him. It was slightly damaged. He frowned and said, "The people of MCMAU are arrogant and despotic. They actually dared to take the initiative to attack Monster Sunflower City. This time, when we return to the royal court, we will definitely report to the Lord and fight MCMAU again." As for the fact that they did not make a move earlier, the two of them did not even mention it. The monster Sunflower City Lord did not say anything either. He nodded slightly and beckoned for the two of them to continue to rest in the city lord's mansion. As for the others, he did not instruct them anything. Needless to say, there would naturally be people who would clean up the mess. As for Fong Ping and Kuei Luo, they did not follow them. Instead, they returned to their own courtyards through another path. As they walked, Kuei Luo said softly, "Ming, although you were reckless this time, Her Highness Li and has taken notice of you. However, I heard that the Lord is weak. Although Her Highness Li and is one of the heirs to the Lord, she may not be able to inherit the throne. When you arrive at the royal court, you can use Her Highness Li An's influence to gain a foothold in the royal court. If there's a chance, you can become a disciple of a divine general. Maybe you can become a disciple of a true king. Don't rush back. Now that the war has begun, the outskirts are dangerous. If possible, enter the king's territory as soon as possible and become the city lord. When that time comes, I will also find a way to enter the restricted area and meet up with you." Kuei Luo's words slightly surprised Fong Ping. It seemed that these catacombs powerhouses were not stupid. The war had begun. Now that the situation was critical, it was not only the humans who felt this way. These powerhouses in the outskirts of the catacombs, also felt the danger. This fellow Kue Luo was not someone who would betray his companions to escape. He was also very afraid of death. This time, sending his son to the restricted area was probably also to have a way out. It's a pity that your son has just died. Fang Ping muttered in his heart, but his expression was solemn. He nodded hurriedly and said in a low voice, "Father, I heard that Her Highness Li En likes to hunt for novelties. Do you have any unique treasures at home? Your son can offer them to Her Highness." Aquila frowned slightly. A unique treasure? Sunflower glanced at Fang Ping and thought for a moment before saying, "In recent years, His Highness has bestowed me with 100 sunflower fruits. During the banquet, Her Highness Li Yi had asked His Highness to present the sunflower fruits. However, I had originally planned to wait until you've become a peak general before using these sunflower fruits when you've become a quasi-commander." Fang Ping's gaze flickered. He said hurriedly, "Father, it's better to save the sunflower fruit for when I advance. If I don't advance to commander level, I won't have any status in the royal court. If I want to become a true king's disciple, I'll have to advance to commander level as soon as possible. That family—" Aquila glanced at his son again. This time, he wasn't blaming him, but rather feeling gratified. His son was both brave and intelligent, and he was even stronger than he was. Sooner or later, he would have great accomplishments after entering the Forbidden Region. Since that was the case, if he wanted his son to have a firm foothold in the royal court, he would just have to bleed. A few years ago, I obtained 3 golden body fruits in the 100 Beasts forest. I was planning to use them for my own use to break through to the upper level of the supremacy realm. However, my progress has been slow these few years, and I'm afraid that I won't be able to break through to the upper level. Since that's the case, you can go to the treasury later and take it." Fang Ping despised him in his heart. "Damn it, I thought you'd have some savings, but you only have 3 golden fruits." He had seen this thing before. Back then, when Old Yao gave away 10 divine weapons, Old Zhang gave Old Yao a golden fruit. However, something that could make a paragon take action would not be too bad. The golden fruit was a great help in forging the physique. Although it was not as valuable as 10 divine weapons, it was still as valuable as 1 divine weapon. Aquila got 3 of them in one go. If he was willing, he might be able to exchange them for a rank 8 divine weapon that was slightly inferior. However, in the catacombs, energy fruits were easy to come by, but divine weapons were hard to come by, especially in the outer domain. There were not many demons in the outer domain. Rank 8 demons were all Forbidden Land demons, the kind that huddled together. It was very difficult to have divine weapons. Today, powerhouses like the mayor of Monster Sunflower City were all using divine weapons rewarded by the Forbidden Land. The mayor of Skygate City, who was the first to use a divine weapon, was almost surrounded and killed by the demons. It was only in the later stages that the Forbidden Land demons stopped using divine weapons, which came from the accumulation of many years of war. Otherwise, even if the mayor of Monster Sunflower City had a divine weapon, he might not have dared to use it. 3 golden fruits, that's not too bad. There's also a treasure trove. That's good. I'll take them all. I'll just say it's for bribing. Fang Ping glanced at Aquila. This old guy was going to recuperate later. He was probably not guarded against his own son. If he emptied out his treasure trove, he probably would not have any objections, right? Very soon, both of them arrived at the courtyard. As soon as he returned, Aquila went to recuperate. There were still remnants of Old Man Li's sword aura in his body, still destroying his flesh. If he did not expel it soon, his injuries would become more serious. As soon as Fang Ping returned, a maidservant immediately came forward, bowing and greeting, "Young commander." Aquila was the commander of the imperial guards, with a high position and power. Although Fong Ping was only rank 6, he was not called a general. Everyone in Monster Sunflower City called him Young Commander. Fong Ping ignored these people. The more he said, the more mistakes he would make. At this moment, it was not convenient for him to use his mentality. Fong Ping wandered around the courtyard, and no one dared to stop him. Very soon, Fong Ping found the treasure trove. In front of Aquila's treasure trove, there were also 2 rank 6 powerhouses guarding. When they saw Fong Ping, they bowed and greeted. "Open the treasure trove." "Father ordered me to retrieve some treasures." Both of them did not dare to stop him, and quickly opened the treasure trove. Inside the treasure trove, Fong Ping walked around casually. A rank 8 powerhouses' belongings were quite generous. These powerhouses did not have storage rings, so they could only store things. Most of them were still energy stones. As one of the few rank 8 powerhouses, there were mineral veins underground. Every year, these rank 8 powerhouses received a lot of energy stones. Moreover, Aquila and the others all had properties in the city. As the commander of the Imperial Guards, Aquila received a lot of benefits too. Fong Ping saw a storeroom that specialized in storing energy stones. More than 10 boxes of rank 9 energy stones. A box of 1,000 caddies. So much. Fong Ping's eyes were bright. There was at least 12,000 caddies. 6 tons. F***CK. This rank 8 martial artist actually collected so much wealth. The value was as high as 3.6 trillion. In the catacombs, high-ranked powerhouses, especially Royal City powerhouses, did not lack energy stones. There was no shortage of VIPs like Aquila. These people received a lot of energy stones every year, but their strength progressed slowly, and their consumption was not high. If they saved 100 caddies a year, in the next 100 years, they could save 10,000 caddies. Of course, they could not save that much, and sometimes they would consume a lot. However, Aquila had properties, and he would also exploit those people outside the city, including those in the city. It was understandable that he had so much savings. Should I take it away? Fong Ping was conflicted. Trillions! But how could he take it? If he took it away, would he not be telling others that he had storage equipment? However, if he did not take it away, Fong Ping could only watch as tens of thousands of caddies of rank 9 energy stones were left here. He felt like his heart was bleeding. 6 tons. The last time he excavated a Royal City mineral vein, he did not even get this much, because in their hands, the Royal City mineral vein was no longer a renewable resource. But in the catacombs, it was renewable. In the catacombs, the monster plants would absorb the nearby energy to maintain the mineral vein. The huge energy sun in the sky was also constantly overflowing with energy. That energy sun seemed to be producing endless energy. This was the main reason why the catacombs was rich in energy and there were so many energy stones. Aquila's family was rich, and Monster Sunflower City had not had many wars with humans, so they were much wealthier than Skygate City. If there was a war, they had to burn money. Every time there was a war, these powerhouses would be injured, and healing them would consume a lot of energy. The people of Skygate City were poor, and so were the high-ranked powerhouses. But the people of Monster Sunflower City were quite rich. What should I do? Fong Ping struggled for a while. He did not look at this anymore, but looked elsewhere. Soon, Fong Ping found a lot of energy fruits in the depths of the treasure vault. 100 honing fruit, vein-molding flower, and 3 golden fruits. There were no divine fruit. Many natural treasures related to improving mentality were special products of the catacombs. Some catacombs did not produce these things. Magic City's catacombs, however, did not lack treasures in this area. Sunflower fruit, also known as sunflower seeds. In a crystal treasure box, Fong Ping found a box of golden sunflower seeds. Good stuff. Fong Ping held the treasure box, his face full of surprise. The sunflower monster did not produce too many sunflower seeds every year, and rank 9 did not need them. They were mainly distributed to the other powerhouses of Monster Sunflower City, and Aquila could get 3 to 5 every year. Aquila had lived in Monster Sunflower City for hundreds of years, and he had achieved Golden Body for as long as 60 years. After so many years, he had gotten a lot, but a lot of it was used by him, and he had also rewarded some to the Imperial Guards. Now, there were only about 100 left. Fong Ping did not waste any time. He picked up a sunflower seed and swallowed it. Soon, Fong Ping's eyes moved, and he was pleasantly surprised. 1 sunflower seed could actually increase his mentality by 5 hertz. He was a rank 8 martial artist. Although his mentality was a little weak, it was still comparable to a peak rank 7 powerhouse's mentality. He could actually increase it by 5 hertz. Fong Ping understood that the first time was a big increase. The next time would probably be a little weaker, but 5 hertz was relatively not a small increase. After swallowing these 100 sunflower seeds, I can increase my mentality by at least close to 300 hertz. This thing's effect is better than the divine fruit. The divine fruit is only effective for martial artists with mentality below 500 hertz, but it can't compare to this. If this is used by a rank 6 martial artist, the effect will be at least 5 times better than mine. Fong Ping weighed it in his heart. A rank 6 martial artist could increase their mentality by at least 20 hertz if they took 1. That was the minimum. The things that a rank 9 monster plant gave birth to were indeed extraordinary. The dark moon grass was only born from a rank 7 monster plant, but its effect was already extremely amazing. It was only because the sunflower produced a lot of sunflower seeds every year that the effect was spread out. Otherwise, even the heavenly golden lotus might not be able to compare. The flower disc of the sunflower is definitely more effective than the heavenly golden lotus. Fong Ping swallowed again. It was really good luck to encounter a monster plant with special effects like this. A heavenly golden lotus had a total of 8 petals. The price of 1 petal was 20 billion from Old Zhang's side. The value of a heavenly golden lotus was even more expensive than a rank 9 divine weapon. A normal rank 9 monster plant, even a complete one, was worth more than 100 billion. This sunflower, however, was definitely worth more than that. If the flower disc really had an effect on mentality, it would be worth at least 300 billion. A sunflower seed is worth at least 1 billion and above. Fong Ping put the treasure box into the big pocket in his hand and waited patiently. How much wealth could it increase? He should be very safe now. There was no danger, because Goeluo did not suspect him. That was enough. As expected, Fong Ping's eyes moved quickly. His wealth had really increased. Seeing this, Fong Ping hesitated no more. He was rich. 100 honing fruit, sunflower seed, golden body fruit, vein sculpting flower. Fong Ping threw everything he saw into the big pocket. The treasure trove mainly contained these energy fruits and energy stones. As for some weapons, they might be comparable to A-grade alloy weapons, but Fong Ping did not fancy them. Even if he did fancy them, it would not be good to take them away. There was no use in bringing these things out of the treasure trove. I've really struck it rich. Fong Ping was overjoyed. He began to plan whether he should do this a few more times in the future. The catacombs' powerhouses did not care too much about these things. If he pretended to be their family, he might get a lot of benefits. Moreover, he did not need to fight. 100 sunflower seeds, worth hundreds of billions. 3 golden body fruits, worth more than 30 billion. The other energy fruits added together are worth more than 10 billion, almost 150 billion. Fang Ping grinned in joy. This was called earning money while lying down. Old Zhang had gone to a few holy lands and obtained 1,000 caddies of energy stones. How could he be so shameless? Look at the tens of thousands of caddies of energy stones next to it. He was too lazy to take them. Energy fruits are more useful. Maybe the source stones can't be wasted too. Fang Ping gritted his teeth. He could not let go of the tens of thousands of caddies of energy stones. This was money, a few trillion. Thinking of this, Fang Ping walked out of the treasure trove quickly and shouted at the 2-rank 6 martial artists guarding, "Go, bring out all the life stones and send them to my room. Liquefied life stones. I want to cultivate and break through to upper stage warlord." The 2-rank 6 powerhouses were stunned. Liquefied life stones. There was such a thing, but was it necessary? Both of them were still puzzled. Fang Ping thought for a while and frowned. Father is in closed-door cultivation. It's very slow for me to liquefy. How about this? You guys go and change it to liquefied life liquid and send it to my room. Stone-like ones were difficult to carry, but liquefied ones were easy, right? More than 10,000 caddies. The energy fruits had increased his wealth by 16 million points in one go. Later, when those energy stones were replaced with energy liquids, even if it was a lot less, it would be equivalent to 10,000 caddies of energy stones. That would be worth 3 trillion. Ha ha ha, earning money is too easy. Fang Ping was ecstatic, but his expression did not change. He despised old Zhang even more. Pauper, look at how I earn money. Genius 1 second to remember website address. Mobile version URL. Chapter 7:20. Meanwhile, Earth, capital city. Zhang Tao received the call and frowned slightly. Even in the middle of the night, the Ministry of Education was still brightly lit. You didn't suffer any losses, did you? No. He killed a rank 7 martial artist. Li Changsheng brought his men back. On the other end of the line, someone reported the news. Then, after a moment of hesitation, he said, "Minister, is it really appropriate to hand over Magic City catacombs to MCM with you?" The few from MCMAU were extremely belligerent. In today's battle, although they had killed a rank 7 martial artist, Dean Li and the others were almost held up. If anything happens, the person who reported the news felt somewhat helpless. Humans were not as powerful as the catacombs. It was not a good thing to be overly belligerent. Just like tonight's battle, it shouldn't have happened. A meaningless battle. He did kill a rank 7 on the other side, but it was still extremely dangerous. If the catacombs' powerhouses had arrived a little faster, Li Changsheng might have fallen into the trap. Otherwise, if another rank 9 invaded Wu Quishan's side, and he could not come to support, then it would be even more dangerous. Zhang Tao muttered, "I'll talk to them later." It's time for Li Changsheng to suffer a little. After hanging up the phone, Zhang Tao frowned again. "What are you doing? Don't you know how to respect personal privacy?" Li Zhen was stunned for a long time before he couldn't help but curse. "Talk about yourself. I need to talk to you about something. What's going on in Shanghai?" If MCMAU is always like this, fighting these unnecessary battles, then I will have to consider whether or not to allow MCMAU to guard the Magic City catacombs. These bastards, can't they be more realistic? Zhang Tao, you have to change the culture of martial arts universities. Now, Hua Nation doesn't have the strength to initiate a war. The situation is already bad, but if they initiate a war, won't they be adding to our burden? Li Jun felt very helpless. Li Changxing used to be quite steady, but what happened? Today's battle was indeed meaningless. It was said that it was just to snatch the sunflower seeds. When Li Jun received the news, he was almost depressed to death. A group of robbers? Most importantly, he wasn't as strong as others. Weren't he afraid of being beaten to death by bandits? Zhang Tao chuckled and said, "It's not a big deal. To fight a little." However, the defensive zone was about to change. If MCMAU were to guard the Magic City catacombs, the Magic City catacombs would need to arrange for a paragon to hold the fort. Once the War King recovers from his injuries, I'll let him oversee the 7 southern regions. As for the 9 southern regions, Nanyun, you will oversee them. Li Jun said seriously, "Is there a need?" The 6 southern regions have Ancestor Way, but now the 7 southern regions. It's a little troublesome here in Magic City. With MCMAU's suppression, this kind of battle will happen frequently. But we can't just leave MCMAU and not use it. That would be too wasteful. It was necessary for the War King to oversee the battle. If we don't make it in time, the true king will kill Li Changsheng and the others. Zhang Tao's words made Li Jun feel helpless. What he said made sense. After some thought, Li Jun said, "Luckily Fong Ping is in closed-door cultivation. Otherwise, if this guy knew that the people from MCMAU were robbing him, he might not be able to hold back and attack. That would be even worse." What you said makes sense. The 7 southern regions should be guarded by experts. Zhang Tao didn't say anything. What did this old man know? If it was not because of Fong Ping's instructions, Li Changsheng would not have started this war because he had nothing better to do. Fong Ping was in closed-door cultivation. Maybe it was closed-door cultivation in the catacombs. Li Jun didn't continue this topic. He said, "Yesterday and today, the number of people who signed up to join the army exceeded 500,000. Zhang Tao, how do you think we should handle this? Also, other countries are pressuring us now. Some small countries are already in turmoil. They don't have enough resources for everyone to cultivate. You seized a section of the mineral vein before, and this time you've conquered the forbidden catacombs. What the other countries mean is that since Sino Nation took the initiative to disclose the information, then we should take responsibility. Resources must be shared." "Shared my ass." Zhang Tao swore and said exasperatedly, "Who told you that? Who said that? Don't you know to kill him with a sword? Where did our resources come from? Didn't we fight for them? In these 2 years, how many high-ranked martial artists have died in battle in Sino Nation? Tell them to stop talking nonsense. If they keep talking nonsense, I'll lead the Sino Nation elites to seek refuge in the catacombs. I'd like to see who dies in the end. All of you work, but don't contribute. You live for me? Is it really my responsibility alone? Those good-for-nothings, if they don't contribute, we might as well let the catacombs invade Earth. Sino Nation's other things aside, if we join hands with Heavenly King Suppression, it won't be difficult to save some people's lives. We have this capital, but do they? Each and every one of them dares to hoot at me all the time. Don't piss me off. I've been extremely impatient these past few years. Inform the other 5 holy lands to start a war soon. If they really lack strength, Sino Nation can send some people to help. However, they have to be the main force. After obtaining the resources, we'll split the profits 370. Sino Nation wants 30%. It's not a lot. Also, warn them. If they continue to play dead, I'll ask Fong Ping to harm them. Believe it or not, I'll do it. Li Shun was stunned for a moment. These words seemed to have a deeper meaning. How to harm them? As if he knew what he was thinking, Zhang Tao sneered. It's so simple. Ask that kid to walk around each catacombs, conceal his aura, and blow up 1 or 2 royal cities. These people will fight until their brains bleed. Don't force me. I don't want them to passively participate in the war. I've always been too lazy to care about them. But now, he even dared to ask for resources to be shared. Did he really think that he was a pushover? Tell them my exact words. I can't be bothered with them. They can do whatever they want. If they can't do it, then ask them to surrender. I want to see if the catacombs will accept it, and if they will kill them. If they surrender, I'll go to the catacombs and engage in guerrilla warfare. At most, I'll go to the domain zone or the Forbidden Sea. Can they really kill me? Your temper. Li Jun was speechless and said helplessly, "Don't be so irritable. They didn't mean it that way. But now that the news has been made public, China is still fine, but other places are indeed a little chaotic. Everyone strives for strength to protect themselves, but the lack of resources is indeed very severe. It's difficult. It's hard for them, but it's also hard for us." Over the years, he had only managed to save some good stuff in the past 2 years. However, he had risked his life to get those things. How could he give them to them? If you have the ability, then snatch it yourself. Asking us to give it to them is impossible. Then MCMAU's mineral vein. Don't be silly. If you set your sights on the MCMAU mineral vein, would the MCMAU guys be happy? How could Fong Ping be willing? If these guys quit, you'll have to fight for them in the future. These guys haven't reached the pinnacle yet. They're all bandits. You can snatch some, share some, don't kill the chicken, and take the eggs. Don't you understand this principle? Don't worry. There will be more income later. That kid Fong Ping can't stay idle. Sooner or later, he'll go out and make a fortune. Once he makes a fortune, I guarantee that something will happen. If something happens, collect some protection fees from him. Li Jun's head hurt. He said angrily, "We're not a triad." Zhang Tao's mouth was full of slang. Listening to him, he thought that he was a triad. What make a fortune? What protection fees? Was it appropriate for these words to come out of your mouth? No wonder martial arts universities had changed so much in the past few years. It was all Zhang Tao, this old bastard's bad influence. Zhang Tao said indifferently, "Whatever you say, aren't you capable? Then go and snatch it yourself. There are still many mineral veins at Mount Royal Sea. Take some time to move a few back. That's all 10,000 demon royal courts territory. You want to start a war with them? Then there's nothing I can do. You can't get good stuff on your own, and now you're complaining about the lack of resources. Can you make something out of nothing? Other than nurturing some small bandits, what else can you do? The military department is almost being nurtured into cats by you. They're ferocious tigers. Be a little wilder. Take some time to fight a few battles, find some small mineral veins, and let people dig them. Some people die. That can't be helped." Li Shun was silent for a while. He did not say anything else. Zhang Tao thought for a while and said, "Don't evacuate Magic City's military department. Just put it under MCMAU's name. Call it the MCMAU Army. Tens of thousands of people will belong to MCMAU in the future. Recruit another 50,000 soldiers this year to make up an army of 100,000. I don't care what you call it. If the MCMAU Army doesn't like it, the Fongping Army is fine too. Feed these 100,000 people for me. Do as he pleases. Also, don't hold back FMS. Didn't he want to merge with them? Help him. FMS will belong to MCMAU in the future. I'll have to depend on him to feed them." Li Jun was stunned. After a while, he said, "You're saying let MCMAU feed these people. No, Fong Ping will feed them. Is he willing? Nonsense. He asked for it himself. I didn't force him. Doesn't he want to see MCMView become stronger than ever? Doesn't he want to be on par with the 3 departments and 4 houses? What's wrong with that? If he wants to do it himself, Then he'll feed them himself. Where will he find so many resources to feed these people? Ideas are thought of by humans. Zhang Tao grinned and said, "This kid wants to snatch my position. Fine, I'll let him do it. I'll throw the Wuhan military to him later. Doesn't he want power? Doesn't he want to save face? I want to see how he's going to feed the Wuhan military with close to 40,000 martial artists." Li Jun suddenly sympathized with Fang Ping. He could not help but say, "Isn't it inappropriate for you to trick him like this?" "What are you saying? Did I force him?" Zhang Tao chuckled. "He asked for it himself, didn't he? He wanted to poach people last time. Fine, I'll let him poach later. I'll let them bring the army to him. Is he satisfied now? Does he really think that being a minister is easy? It's not that simple. If he can't feed these people, he won't be able to face anyone. I'll see if he dares to bring this up again." Li Shun was silent for 3 seconds. He said, "What if he really wants to feed them?" "Nothing. Give it to him then. I'll be happy to have it easy." Li Shun was silent again. He said, "Isn't he no longer in closed-door cultivation?" Don't lie to me. Did he go out to reap some benefits? Otherwise, what do you mean by looking like you're about to reap some benefits? Zhang Tao's expression turned serious. Bullsh *T. How could it be so obvious? I have a headache. Why would he think that he's about to reap some benefits? Where did he go? Li Jun asked again. Then his face turned livid. Could he have gone to the Magic City catacombs? Was he the one who ordered the war this time? After thinking for a while, he said suddenly, "No, if he was the one who ordered it, how could there be so little movement? He didn't reap many benefits either. Could it be that he's gone overseas? Or he's gone to the Tian'an catacombs, preparing to go to the bounded domain? No, I have to get someone to keep an eye on him." Zhang Tao coughed softly. He denied. How could that be? He didn't go to the bounded domain, or the outer realm. The outer realm is hunting for him. Would he dare to show his face? Don't worry, he's still in closed-door cultivation. Li Shun felt that there was a deeper meaning to this. He did not think too much about it. In his heart, he wondered if he should go to MCMU to take a look. That kid was not a good person. His strength was not much, but his ability to cause trouble was really extraordinary. Sino Nation had been in many wars recently. Although the losses were not too great, frequent wars were not a good thing. Very quickly, Zhang Tao changed the topic. If we're training soldiers, the Forbidden Catacombs is more suitable. Conscription. Since everyone knows the dangers of the catacombs, they still want to sign up. That's patriotic. Since they're not willing to wait for death and the extinction of mankind, then we'll give them a chance. This time, conscript 1 million soldiers. It's only been 2 days, and so many people have signed up. 1 million is not a lot. After all these years, we still have some reserves. At this time, if we don't use it, there's no point in keeping it. The pill company has a lot of reserves, too. Use it all you want. Continue to lower the price of basic pills. Those who join the army will be free. At least we have to train these people into martial artists. As for the future, it's up to them. This year, the martial arts universities recruited hundreds of thousands of people, and the military department conscripted 1 million people. If all of them become martial artists, the number of martial artists in Sino Nation will exceed 4 million. This is the end of the world, but it's also a golden age, the age of martial arts. Zhang Tao's tone was slightly complicated. 4 million martial artists. This was unimaginable in the past. 100 years ago, there were no more than 10,000 martial artists in Sino Nation. In just 100 years, this number had increased by 400 times. Li Jun also sighed. This was indeed a golden age. In the past 1,000 years, this was the era with the most martial artists. It was the most prosperous era. It was also the era with the most powerhouses in the past 1,000 years. Soon, the number of martial artists in the world would reach 10 million. At this point, Zhang Tao said in a low voice, "There's one more thing. The sect world." Previously, the sect world leaders gathered in Chengzhou to suppress the Chengzhou catacombs. This time, Zhao Xingwu defected and escaped. Without him holding the fort, the sect world's strength is greatly reduced. Kong Lingyuan holding the fort in Chengzhou is not a long-term solution. I'm preparing to inform those old fellows that the sect world needs to hold at least one catacomb. Otherwise, all resources will not be open to the sect world in the future, whether they work together or hire others. In short, they need to hold the fort in one catacomb. Also, those resurrected martial artists over at Stellar Sky City, those who didn't come out last time, come out this time. You tell Stellar Sky City that these people are martial artists of the sect world. Although the sect world has declined, they don't want to see the sect completely destroyed. So come out. Stellar Sky City does have resources, but I've already discussed it with a few families. In the future, these families will withdraw from this plan and will no longer provide resources. If those families are still willing to provide resources, I have no objections. We'll continue to support them. Whether we can support them or not depends on them. Finally, it's still the same as before. Do you want the cultivation method or not? If you want it, then let people come out to hold the fort in the catacombs. If you don't want it, then continue to fight on the battlefield. Li Zhen, I'm warning you, if you dare to spread the cultivation method recklessly, I won't be polite to you. At this point, Zhang Tao said in a low voice, Stellar Sky City really doesn't have the cultivation method for the brain nucleus. Even the Heavenly King, subduing king, doesn't have it. If not, how on earth did these people cultivate to the pinnacle back then? Li Zhen said in a low voice, if the old ancestor says there isn't, then there's a high probability that there isn't. Otherwise, he wouldn't hide these things. Then tell me, how did they cultivate to the pinnacle? Moreover, they're in the same era. Li Zhen was silent for a moment and slowly said, perhaps they were originally at the pinnacle. Zhang Tao's pupils shrank. He said in a low voice, you're saying resurrection. Resurrection in another sense. Li Zhen's spiritual force fluctuated fiercely. He said in a low voice, it's not the kind of death, but a deep slumber, or perhaps the kind of blood resurrection where they lost all memories and were resurrected by someone. The old ancestors themselves may not know how they reached the pinnacle. Otherwise, the old ancestors wouldn't have found it so difficult to advance even an inch for several hundred years. The old ancestors' strength isn't actually too strong. This is because they might lack some past experiences. They aren't too clear about how they reached the pinnacle. Nan Yunhua has just broken through. The two old ancestors, Chun and Shun, are probably not as strong as her. There's no reason that the pinnacle of the neo-martial era must be stronger than the old ancestors. If they don't know how they reached the pinnacle in the past, then it makes sense. They have already forgotten how they stepped onto this path. For several hundred years, they're more or less the same as us, starting anew. The higher you stand, the more difficult it is to start anew. Among these people, my old ancestor and the Battle King have already comprehended their own path. But the others may not be able to. Zhang Tao, what do you think? There's this possibility. Zhang Tao's eyes turned. He mumbled, resurrection. They were resurrected by someone. There really is this possibility. That old ghost Battle King has chatted with me several times. When I asked about his past, that old ghost was very silent. He was probably depressed and didn't know too much. It's a very large scale. So many pinnacles. Could they have all been resurrected? Forget it. I'll ignore them for now. The possibility isn't small. Don't look at that old fellow Battle King, because he's old. I feel that his thoughts are very simple. I'm afraid he hasn't seen much of the world. Perhaps as soon as he was resurrected, he began to stand guard at Imperial Sea Mountain. Otherwise, how could someone who's hundreds and thousands of years old be so simple and care about so many generations of descendants? The pinnacles of suppressing Star City greatly valued and doted on their descendants. Otherwise, they wouldn't have allowed them to go out and gain experience only after reaching the rank 6 realm. If he was really an old ghost who had lived for thousands of years, not to mention that his feelings were completely extinguished, he would not be as sentimental as he was now. Following Zhang Tao's change of topic, both of them talked about the pinnacles. As for Fang Ping, Li Jun temporarily forgot about him. Old Zhang said that Fang Ping did not enter the catacombs. It was probably true. As for Zhang Tao saying that he did not enter the Outland or the Bounded Boundaries, nonsense. Other than these places, where else could Fang Ping go? Could it be that he went through Imperial Sea Mountain and went to the restricted area? Or maybe he went to the Forbidden Sea. That would be courting death. Li Jun did not think about these aspects at the moment. Magic City Catacombs. Very soon, Fang Ping got the energy fluid. After getting the energy fluid, Fang Ping immediately closed the door and began closed-door cultivation. In the middle of the night, a wave of aura fluctuation came from the backyard. Fang Ping, who was originally at middle stage rank 6, instantly became upper stage rank 6. The Sanjiao gate flashed and disappeared. It was extremely fast and disappeared very quickly. Fang Ping had just broken through, and many mentality probed toward him. In the residence of the city lord, Monster Sunflower City's mayor was slightly surprised. Did Kuei-Ming break through? However, seeing that fellow wrapped himself in the life fluid, Monster Sunflower City's mayor could not help but curse. How did Kuei Luo raise such a son? So many years of savings were wasted by his son, just like that. Energy could only be said to be auxiliary in a rank 6 breakthrough. It was not a decisive factor. If Kuei-Ming could break through, it meant that he was not too far away from upper stage rank 6. After a few months of polishing, maybe he would break through naturally. Now, wasting so much energy fluid was really a waste. However, thinking that this kid was going to enter the restricted area soon and was anxious, Monster Sunflower City's mayor could understand. As for Kuei Luo, that fellow had been stuck at rank 8 for many years and had no hope of breaking through in the short term. If it was wasted, then so be it. Monster Sunflower City's mayor was not the only one who sensed it. In the courtyard, Kuei Luo, who was recuperating, also sensed it. In an instant, he was extremely gratified. His son had broken through. Very soon, very soon. His son had only been a middle-stage warlord for slightly more than a year, and he had actually advanced so quickly. It seemed that his son had gained something from attacking the Venerable today. Greatly gratified, Kuei Luo wanted to come out of closed-door cultivation to take care of his son. However, his injuries were not light, and the sword aura had not been extinguished. After thinking for a while, he gave up on the idea. It was fine as long as his son broke through. Upper stage warlord. When he reached peak and consumed some sunflower fruits, he would be able to reach quasi-commander very quickly. Perhaps in a few years, his son would be able to enter commander. In the restricted area, there were many opportunities. In 3 to 5 years, there was hope for him to reach the same rank as himself. Thinking of this, Kuei Luo felt that his injuries were nothing. It was really gratifying. Monster Sunflower City's mayor and Kuei Luo sensed it. Feng Mieshing and the others were no exception. After all, they were all in the mansion. Sensing Fang Ping's breakthrough, Feng Nieshing raised his eyebrows slightly. That was quite fast. If that was the case, the commander level was not too far away. If he could send the other party to the king's battleground, he might be able to enter commander in a few months. Once he reached commander level, he would no longer be a dispensable existence. 7 Southern Territory has really produced a genius. This Kuei Ming doesn't seem that old. He's not even 30 years old, right? This thought surfaced in Feng Nieshing's mind. In the Outland, it was not easy to have such achievements before 30 years old. He only had a venerable for a father. In the restricted area, there were many descendants of true kings. It was not a big deal to look at the rank alone. However, the fact that the other party dared to swing his saber at a venerable showed his courage and boldness. He had injured the other party, and his strength was even stronger, and his talent was outstanding. At this moment, some thoughts surfaced in Feng Nieshing's mind. Perhaps it was time for him to fight. That fellow Li Yi wanted to subdue this kid. He could not let it go. The geniuses he had subdued in the last king's battleground were all dead. As for the group of people left behind by Feng Qing, there was some estrangement between them. He still had to cultivate his own team. These people were calculating. Fang Ping, on the other hand, sealed the remaining energy liquid. More than 10,000 caddies of energy stones had been exchanged for close to 2,000 caddies of energy liquid. Fang Ping had spent about 300 caddies of energy liquid for his breakthrough. Although it seemed terrifying, it was normal for a rapid breakthrough to consume a lot of energy. As for where the 300 caddies had ended up, naturally, it had fallen into the space. Walking out of the room, Fang Ping looked at the data while accepting the congratulations from the people in the mansion. The young commander had become an upper-stage warlord. It was indeed worthy of celebration. Fang Ping, on the other hand, said with great generosity, "There's quite a lot of life liquid left. I'll enter the restricted area and bring some with me for cultivation. I'll be leaving soon. My father is still in the mansion. In the future, everyone needs to work hard for my father. These are your rewards. Cultivate more. I hope that when I return, a commander-in-chief will be born under my father's command." Fang Ping tossed some energy liquid to a few rank 6 martial artists in the mansion. They were extremely excited. One by one, they knelt down and said loudly, "Thank you, young commander. We won't let you down. We're willing to die for you." Fang Ping said loudly, "My father is injured. If there's another war, the martial artists of Hope City will attack again. Please help me. When I return tomorrow, Kuei Ming will definitely repay you. We'll definitely die." These martial artists were also extremely excited. In the catacombs, it was rare for a superior to treat a subordinate so well. This was life liquid. Usually, it was difficult for them to even obtain a little life stone. This time, the young commander was going to leave. He was actually so generous. Everyone was stunned. In the distance, where Kuei Luo was cultivating in seclusion, Fang Ping's voice was so loud that it could be heard. Kuei Luo's expression was incomparably complicated. His son was still thinking about him before he left. He did not know if there would be any danger when he went to the restricted area this time. "It's a pity that your father is only a venerable. Ming, live well," Kuei Luo muttered in his heart. As for his son giving benefits to the martial artists in the mansion, he did not care too much. This was his son's filial piety. He had to accept it. In the mansion, Fang Ping glanced at the place where Kuei Luo was cultivating in seclusion. "I've made it clear to you that these things are to be brought to the restricted area to cultivate and organize. I've also rewarded these martial artists while I'm at it. The treasury is empty. Don't misunderstand." After settling these matters, the corners of Fang Ping's mouth curled up. He was rich. Wealth, 360 million points vitality, 64,200 calories, 64,299 calories mentality, 3,310 hertz, 3,370 hertz destructive force, 24 yuan, bones honed, 206 pieces, 100% storage space, 1,000 cubic meters plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute plus, aura simulation, 10 points/minute plus. It had increased by about 310 million points. The fee charged for exchanging energy stones for energy liquids was not small. After all, it required a high-ranked powerhouse to do it. It was also a strenuous task. Even so, after conversion, it had increased by so much. Fong Ping was still wild with joy. Now, he did not have to worry about not having enough wealth. Before this, Fong Ping was still a little worried. It was only about 40 million points. If the House of Gold was destroyed, it would cost tens of millions. When the battle started, replenishing the imperishable substance once would consume hundreds of thousands of points. Tens of millions was really not enough. Now, it was all right. He had more confidence when he entered the catacombs. Fong Ping grinned. In his heart, he was calculating. Should he think of a way to achieve peak rank 6 quickly and use the sunflower seeds as an excuse to enter commander level quickly? Only rank 7 martial artists were considered powerhouses in the catacombs. Otherwise, middle-ranked martial artists would be nothing but bystanders when they went to the restricted area. Everything is ready. I'm only missing one thing. Fong Ping's heart was at ease. He did not stop. At this moment, he still had close to 1,500 caddies of energy liquids in his hands. Tomorrow, when he saw Li Yi and the rest, he would give Feng Extermination 500 caddies. He did not believe that these people did not care about this. Sunflower had saved up for more than 100 years. He was a rank 8 powerhouse after all. Did Feng Extermination and the rest have so much savings? I'll give it to you guys first. When I'm about to leave, I'll kill you guys and take it back. I still have to collect interest. Fong Ping was also a person who was willing to invest. He used benefits to pave the way. In this day and age, if you did not spend money, who would work for you? Old Zhang was like this. The catacombs were even more so. Genius in a second, remember this site's address. Mobile version. Chapter 7:21. In the blink of an eye, the sky brightened. Fong Ping hated the alternation between day and night in the catacombs. There were no signs, no preparations, no rising sun, no setting sun, no dawn. It was as if a black curtain had been lifted in an instant. The transition between night and day happened in the blink of an eye. When he said it would be daybreak, it would be daybreak. It was so fast that one would be surprised. City Lord residence. Although the City Lord's mansion was called a mansion, it was actually an incomparably large palace. Outside the main hall of the City Lord's mansion was an incomparably huge square, which was also a martial arts arena. The training field was lower than the main hall. To walk from the training field to the main hall, one had to pass through a flight of stairs that was 100 meters long and more than 10 meters high. At this moment, on the stairs outside the main hall, the governor of Monster Sunflower City stood proudly in the center, while Feng Yexing and Li Yi stood on his left. The remaining Rank 8 and Rank 7 commanders of Monster Sunflower City stood on the right. Thousands of young men and women had gathered in the martial arts arena below. Martial artists did not have a high age requirement, but regardless of whether it was the catacombs or the human world, 30 years of age was usually the limit. After 30 years of age, one would have passed the golden age of practicing martial arts. Unless he had a mine at home, he could use large amounts of life essence to reforge his bones and restore his vitality. Old Man Lee's rapid improvement was actually related to the time when he had broken down and reforged his bones. The young men and women below were generally under 30 years old. As long as they weren't too obvious, they wouldn't be noticed. At this moment, these young men were looking at the crowd above them with reverence. In the catacombs, there was a clear hierarchy. Some of these people came from villages outside Royal City, some came from affiliated cities, and some came from outside Royal City. Usually, they almost never had the chance to come into contact with these high-ranked powerhouses. Today, however, there were more than 10 high-ranked powerhouses here. Yes, on the high platform, a 6th-grade battle general shouted. In the next moment, more than 1,000 people below half-knelt and said loudly, "Greetings, Your Majesty." "Rise." The general shouted again. Everyone rose to their feet. At this time, Monster Sunflower City Lord slowly said, 10 spots. Everyone knows what a spot represents. Power, strength, wealth, and immortality. In the past 3 years, 5 years, perhaps even 10 years, there would only be a single opportunity. Today, I will give everyone a chance to compete with their own strength. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone in the martial arts practice field half-knelt once more and thanked him loudly. The general who spoke before roared, 80 people, 108 to a group, 10 arenas, 1 person per arena. The winner gets the spot. The rules were simple and crude. Standing on the high platform, Fong Ping's expression was calm, but his heart was filled with emotions. These powerhouses from the catacombs were rather straightforward. Under the rough arrangement of the Imperial Guards, the crowd was quickly divided into 10 groups. 10 arenas rose from the martial arts practice field. One of the generals shouted again, "Life or death. Only 1 person will remain on each platform. Get on the stage." With that, more than 1,000 people stepped onto the arena. As soon as he stepped onto the stage, screams of agony rang out. A rank 5 martial artist had just gone up when he was attacked by more than 10 people around him at the same time, instantly turning into minced meat. Fong Ping's expression did not change. Like the people around him, he remained indifferent. However, his heart was filled with awe. The catacombs were so ruthless. There were no rules. 108 people in one arena. If only 1 person remained, the number of casualties would not be low. With such a ruthless selection method, the elites selected would not be too weak. And such elites had all entered the Forbidden Zone. The Forbidden Zone might be more dangerous than he thought. These foreign elites had all gone to the Forbidden Zone. The people he had killed in the martial arts arena last time were only middle ranks. They might not be true elites. The foreign territories sent a large number of elites to the Forbidden Zone every year. These people might have broken through to high ranks long ago. 10 arenas, killing broke out in an instant. Broken limbs were quickly scattered all over the arena. These people were all ruthless enough. In the foreign territories, Fong Ping and the others rarely met elites. Fong Ping suspected that some of them had entered the Forbidden Zone, and some of them had probably died in the hands of their own people. If this kind of competition happened once a year, who knew how many young talents would die? Raising bugs. This was the real way to raise bugs. And the king of goo that was raised had all gone to the Forbidden Zone. This made Fong Ping even more vigilant. He could not underestimate the Forbidden Zone's strength just because it went smoothly in the martial arts arena last time. While Fong Ping was watching the competition, there were 2 people standing next to him, a man and a woman. 10 people were selected from below the stage. Besides that, there were 3 people from Monster Sunflower City who had entered through the back door. These 3 people, plus the 10 people below the stage, were 13 people competing for 12 spots. It was almost guaranteed entry. Privilege was everywhere, and it was reflected even more clearly in the catacombs. In Fong Ping's eyes, Kuei Ming's identity might not be much, but in the eyes of others, the son of a rank 8 powerhouse was the real crown prince, aristocrat, high and mighty. For a person like him, it was only right that he was guaranteed entry. Fong Ping was still watching the competition. Beside him, the female martial artist looked at Fong Ping with a coquettish smile and said, "Kuei Ming, did you break through to upper stage warlord last night?" Although Fong Ping did not know this woman, he had asked about the situation of a few people who were guaranteed entry. There was a man and a woman. The man was called Red Alder, and the woman was called Hua Bailong. Red Alder was the grandson of another rank 8 powerhouse in Monster Sunflower City, not the son. Hua Bailong was the daughter of a rank 7 commander-in-chief. Both of them were also rank 6. However, Red Alder was middle stage rank 6, while Hua Bailong was only early stage rank 6. Fong Ping heard the woman's conversation with him and said lightly, "I broke through by luck. Congratulations." Hua Bailong did not mind his coldness. She said with a face full of smiles, "Kuei Ming, you should be able to become a commander-level powerhouse in no time. When that time comes, don't forget about me." Fong Ping did not say anything. Beside him, Red Alder, the long-haired young man, frowned slightly and said softly, "Bailong, young Commander Kuei Ming is a peerless prodigy of Monster Sunflower City. When he reaches the royal court, will he still think of us?" After saying that, he sneered with a hint of mockery. "I heard that last night young Commander Kuei Ming used up all of Venerable Kuei's life stones. His 100 years of savings were used up in an instant. Only then did he break through to upper stage warlord. How extravagant!" When these words were said, Hua Bailong was slightly embarrassed. She did not say anything. Kuei Ming and Red Alder were both descendants of rank 8 venerables. The two of them had not been on good terms for a long time. In addition, Kuei Luo and Red Alder's grandfather were not on good terms either. Both of them had always been at odds. Now that Kuei Ming had broken through, his rank was higher than Red Alder's. However, everyone now knew why Kuei Ming had broken through. He had used up countless life stones and all the savings of a venerable powerhouse to break through to upper stage warlord. In the eyes of everyone, this was not worthy of admiration. Especially in Red Alder's opinion, Kuei Ming's actions were simply ridiculous. Tens of thousands of life stones. His grandfather did not even have that many savings. The Hong family had many descendants. It was not like Kuei Luo, who was a loner and only had one son. After many years of consumption, when it came to Red Alder's generation, he could only receive 3 rank 9 life stones every month. Ever since he was young, the number of life stones he had used was not as much as what Kuei Ming had used last night. Even so, Kuei Ming was only 1 rank higher than him. Of course, Red Alder was not convinced. When he heard that Kuei Ming was valued by the 2 royal highnesses, Red Alder was very dissatisfied. He was younger than Kuei Ming and had much less resources than him. However, their ranks were similar, and his combat strength was slightly higher than Kuei Ming's. If Kuei Ming had not relied on his strong flattery skills and heard that he had attacked a venerable yesterday, how could he compare to him? Red Alder had sparred with Kuei Ming many times. He was very clear about Kuei Ming's strength. As for attacking a venerable powerhouse, it was Kuei Ming's father who had restrained the other party. Red Alder even suspected that venerable Kuei Luo had deliberately created such an opportunity for him, for Kuei Ming. It was to let the 2 royal highnesses witness this scene, so that Kuei Ming could enter their discerning eyes. Fong Ping naturally heard the disdain in Red Alder's tone. He could even feel that the high-ranked powerhouses in front were also paying attention. Fong Ping's eyes turned slightly. Suddenly, he said in a low voice, "King, your royal highnesses, there are 12 people entering the royal court this time, and there is one more person. In order to save everyone's time, why don't I spar with Red Alder? The loser will be disqualified." If possible, Fong Ping wanted to eliminate both Red Alder and Hua Beirong. Both of them knew Kuei Ming. In fact, they were quite familiar with each other. Fong Ping was worried that he would be exposed if he was with them. However, there was only one more person now. Hua Beirong was only the daughter of a rank 7 commander. Her strength was slightly weaker, and she did not seem to be very hostile towards Kuei Ming. It would be best if Red Alder could be eliminated. A fellow who was hostile to him would definitely be paying attention to him. If he was not careful, he would be easily discovered. After all, he was not the real Kuei Ming. The monster Sunflower City Lord turned his head and glanced at them, not saying a word. Li Yi, on the other hand, looked interested. She said playfully, "You want to spar?" "Your Royal Highness, I have never been on good terms with Red Alder. I'm not willing to enter the royal court with him." Fong Ping was being straightforward. Superiors were all like this. They hated petty people who played tricks on them. Those who were simple and honest were more likable. As soon as he said this, Red Alder's face turned ashen. He hurriedly cupped his hands and said, "King, your Royal Highnesses, I am willing to spar with Kuei Ming to determine the quota." As soon as he said this, the rank 8 powerhouse standing next to the monster Sunflower City Lord frowned slightly. He had seen Fong Ping's saber yesterday. Quite valiant. His own grandson might not be a match for him. The quota for the restricted area was hard to come by. The descendants of the monster Sunflower City Lord did not need to care, but he could not. It was not easy to get a quota. If he lost, would he not lose the quota? But now, the 2 royal highnesses seemed to be quite interested. If he spoiled their fun, it would be more troublesome. Thinking of this, the rank 8 powerhouse hurriedly said, "King, your Royal Highnesses, it's fine to spar to liven things up. Red Alder is already a middle-stage warlord, and Kuei Ming is also an upper-stage warlord. No matter who is eliminated, it will be a loss to the royal city." "Why not just spar?" Before he finished speaking, Li Yi said impatiently, "They're just warlords. The royal court has plenty of them. However, if these 2 perform well, I don't mind giving another quota. Those people below are boring. Since you want to spar, then start. Don't waste my time." Fong Ping immediately said, "Your Royal Highness, weapons have no eyes. Cut the crap. If they die, then they die. Hurry up and start." Li Yi did not care about their lives at all. It was not just him. Feng Miesheng was the same. If a middle rank died, then so be it. If their hands and feet were bound, then it would be boring. There were not many fun things to do in the Outland. It was good to watch a show. A smile appeared on Fong Ping's face. He looked at Red Alder and said lightly, "Red Alder, if you insist on dying, then don't blame me for being merciless." Red Alder sneered. Kuei Ming was only 1 stage higher than him. This was not the difference between a quasi-commander and a warlord. It was not even the difference between a peak warlord. The only difference between both parties was the ceiling of a door. The difference between a middle stage and an upper stage rank 6 was not that big. Red Alder did not bother to say more. He jumped off the platform directly. He had just jumped off the platform when Fong Ping suddenly drew his saber. "Kagu!" Fong Ping roared. He did not even leave the platform, slashing with his saber. Below the platform, Red Alder's expression changed drastically. On the platform, the rank 8 powerhouse's expression changed too. Just as he was about to make a move, the two-rank, 8 powerhouses beside Li Yi had already locked onto him. Their murderous intent was awe-inspiring. How dare you interfere in front of His Royal Highness? The rank 8 powerhouse paused slightly. During this pause, Fong Ping's saber had already landed. No, Red Alder roared. He did not even have time to escape. Sanjiao Gate appeared instantly, but it was too late. There was a rumble. The sound of an explosion rang out. His head exploded. Fong Ping sheathed his saber. His expression was indifferent. Very quickly, he cupped his hands toward Monster Sunflower City's city lord and Feng Mieshing, saying, "My lord, your highnesses, this general has won." Bang! After he finished speaking, Red Alder's headless corpse fell to the ground. Kui Ming. The rank 8 powerhouse beside Monster Sunflower City's city lord was livid. Kui Ming had killed Red Alder with one slash. He was furious, but Li Yi and Feng Mieshing did not care about this. Feng Mieshing could not help but take a few more glances at Fong Ping. He smiled and said, not bad at all. You seem to be stronger than yesterday. It seems that the breakthrough did not cause you to lose control of your strength. Monster Sunflower City has produced a true genius this time." Li Yi also smiled faintly. "Trash is dead. So be it, Venerable Red. It's just the death of a trash descendant. Just give birth to a few more. I have made the decision to let your Hong family send another person to the royal court. Kui Ming, well done." Venerable Red's face was livid. At this moment, he suppressed his anger and forced a smile. "Thank you, Your Highness, for fulfilling my wish." At this moment, Monster Sunflower City's city lord looked at Fong Ping. After a while, he nodded slightly. "When you go to the royal court, don't embarrass Monster Sunflower City. I didn't expect that you would improve so much in just a few days." Fong Ping thanked him hurriedly and did not say anything else. As for Red Alder, he was only a middle-stage rank 6 martial artist. So be it if he was killed. With Monster Sunflower City's city lord and Feng Mieshing around, Fong Ping believed that no matter how bold Venerable Red was, he would not dare to attack him. Besides, F***CK, he had to work when he was paid. He went to visit Feng Mieshing and Venerable Red Alder early in the morning and gave each of them about 500 caddies of energy liquid. Both of them looked as if nothing had happened. Who knew how excited they were? He had killed a middle-ranked martial artist. If they did not say a few words, would they be worthy of the energy liquid he gave them? Coincidentally, he could also display his strength so that both of them would think more of him. He also got rid of Red Alder to prevent any problems from arising. After killing Red Alder with one slash, Fong Ping glanced at Hua Bairong from the corner of his eye. Hua Bairong's pretty face had turned pale. Sensing Fong Ping's gaze on her, the fear on her face quickly turned into a smile, a fawning look on her face. She did not expect Kui Ming's strength to improve so much that Red Alder was killed with one slash. On the other side, Fong Ping had dealt with Red Alder. Below the stage, the 10 arenas were also extremely bloody. In a short period of time, more than 100 people had died out of more than 1,000 people. There were also some injured people who fell off the arena wailing incessantly. After close to half an hour, the 10 arenas had more or less decided on the victors. Even the victors were now riddled with wounds. Some were even on their last breaths. Looking at these people's faces full of anticipation, Feng Mieshing suddenly said lightly on the stage, "In the 1st, 5th, and 9th arenas, the victors' injuries are too severe. They will be disqualified. The other 7 people, plus Kui Ming and 1 person from the Red family, 10 people is just right." Monster Sunflower City's city lord frowned slightly. Very quickly, he smiled and said, "Arrange for 2 more people." As you wish. Feng Mieshing did not mind. Previously, he had promised 12 people. Arranging for 2 more people was not a big deal. However, he did not want to stay here for long. He did not want to waste time either. Very quickly, he said, "Get these people to pack up. We'll leave immediately and return to the palace in a while." Monster Sunflower City's city lord did not delay either. He glanced at the chieftain beside him. The chieftain quickly went to make the arrangements. As for whether the 3 severely injured victors were unwilling, it was not within their consideration. If their injuries were too severe, they would have to spend a lot of resources to help them heal. The catacombs' powerhouses were not so kind. Fang Ping saw this scene and heard these words. Although his expression did not change, his heart was filled with emotions. This was the catacombs. Reality chilled one's heart. At this moment, he could really understand why the various cities in the catacombs rarely joined forces. In such a realistic catacombs, without a powerhouse's forceful order, unless it was a matter of life and death, how could they join forces? The true kings in the True King Hall were reluctant to break the Imperial Sea Mountains blockade. This was probably what they were thinking. If not for the temptation of the Seed of Rebirth, these true kings might not be willing to take the risk to fight with human powerhouses. Although the Seed of Rebirth was tempting, some of the true kings were probably hesitant. Just convincing these true kings alone was not something that could be done in a short period of time. In the catacombs, there must be a powerhouse who organized all of this. Otherwise, the catacombs should be in a state of disunity, each doing their own thing. The Hall Master or the Lord? Fang Ping judged in his heart. To make the powerhouses form an alliance, there must be a powerhouse in the middle who organized and planned it. Maybe if this organization's powerhouse is killed, then the catacombs will disperse. Fang Ping thought again in his heart. Once the organizer of such a group of selfish powerhouses was killed, the others might quickly retreat. Is it the Hall Master of the True King Hall? Fang Ping felt that this should be the case. The Lord of the Monster Plant's royal court was not even a true king. It might be difficult to do this. Besides, this lord had not been in power for many years. Previously, the catacombs had the intention to attack humans. It should not be the Lord's plan. However, in the past 100 years, the increase in wars was probably related to this lord. 100 years ago, wars between both sides were rare. At that time, there were fewer catacombs entrances and fewer wars. Those true king powerhouses were probably waiting for the passageways to be fully opened. They might not be thinking about the outbreak of war, but they were waiting for the arrival of the last moment. When the Monster Plant's royal court's lord took the position, there would be more wars. Old Zhang was right. That fellow was very ambitious. However, it was also because of the many wars that the human martial arts world came into being. Otherwise, without pressure, there would not be the emergence of the neo-martial era. I don't know if I should be grateful or hate, Fang Ping muttered to himself. The Monster Plant's royal court's lord triggered the war, which allowed the 2 paragons of Star Town to start the neo-martial era. From 10,000 martial artists back then, it became more than 2 million martial artists in Sino Nation today. In recent years, 3 paragons had been born. After that, there were martial arts universities, and then there were opportunities for civilians to come into contact with martial arts. About half an hour later, 12 people gathered in the main hall of the Castellan residence. Rank 6, including Fang Ping and Hua Beirong, there were a total of 9 people. The other 3 people were peak rank 5. Among them, Fang Ping's ability was the strongest, upper stage rank 6. The other 8 rank SIXS were middle stage and low stage. In the outer region, having rank 6 ability was considered not weak. Moreover, they were not too old. Even in the restricted zone, these people would be considered geniuses. There were so many paragons in Star Town, but there were not many rank SIXS below 30 years old. Just as everyone gathered, one of the two rank 8 martial artists who followed Feng Yeshing and Hua Beirong casually tossed something out. A small palace appeared outside the hall. Fong Ping's pupils contracted. Then it lit up. Extravagant. A divine weapon. This small palace was actually a divine weapon. Fong Ping was looking, and so was Monster Sunflower City's city lord. After a while, he laughed. What a treasure! Made from the cores of 3 venerable beasts, and of the same origin. Rare, too rare. 3 rank, 8 beasts, and of the same clan. This was extremely rare. Under normal circumstances, if a divine weapon was made from the core of a heart and brain, and not from the same beast's core, there would be conflict. There might even be an explosion. However, if 3 rank, 8 beasts were from the same clan, there would be no such taboo. This small palace was equivalent to 3 rank, 8 divine weapons. In fact, it was even more expensive because 3 rank, 8 beasts of the same clan were too rare. This plaything was slightly inferior to the average rank 9 divine weapon. Rank 9 divine weapons were also divided into strong and weak ones. Weak ones were made from rank 9 demon cores, while those were made from origin path demon clan demon cores. This palace was at least comparable to a rank 9 divine weapon made from origin path demon clan demon cores. Li Yi laughed. City Lord, you must be joking. It's just a means of transportation. 30 years ago, the Yu Monkey clan invaded the royal land. My father ordered the gods to exterminate the Yu Monkey clan. After that, this palace was built, Li Yi explained briefly, and did not say much. Monster Sunflower City's city lord did not ask further. He quickly turned to look at Fong Ping and the rest, saying sternly, when you go to the restricted zone and enter the royal court, you must listen to the orders of the 2 royal highnesses. If you overstep your boundaries, you will die. Yes, sir. Everyone agreed. Li Yi leaped up and flew to the top of the palace. The other high ranks flew up to the palace one after another. Go up. A rank 7 powerhouse scolded, asking Fong Ping and the rest to follow. Fong Ping and the rest also leaped up and stepped into the palace. A rank 8 powerhouse controlled the palace. It flew away from Monster Sunflower City in the blink of an eye. At the same time, the backyard of the city lord's residence. Quiluo still came out of seclusion. He watched the palace fly away from him, his face full of disappointment. When the subordinate beside him reported that Fong Ping had almost emptied the treasury, what greeted him was not Quiluo scolding Fong Ping, but a palm strike smashing the reporting martial artist into a pulp. Noisy, Quiluo's face was full of impatience. His son had entered the restricted zone and entered the royal court. He had a bright future. What was a mere treasury to him? In the future, he would be in charge of the restricted zone's large city or come to the outland to become a king. How could today compare? In the past, he thought that his son lacked courage. However, yesterday he had used a saber on a venerable, and today he had killed the red alder. Quiluo was very pleased. If he was not ruthless, how could he establish himself? Looking at the city lord's main hall in front of him, Quiluo's face revealed a cold smile. Venerable Red Leaf had caused trouble for him several times. The king also had a grudge against him because of the previous incident, but now his son was valued by the 2 royal highnesses. Once he could become a true king's disciple, even the king would have to give him some face in the future. When my son has established himself in the royal court, I will go to the restricted zone. I will no longer be under your control. Quiluo's thoughts were beautiful. These few times, he had narrowly escaped death a few times. He had already developed the idea of escaping the Outland. After participating in the war for more than a year, he had narrowly escaped death several times. Monsterwood City's destruction made him even more terrified. If it were not for the fact that he had no way out, he would have left the Outland a long time ago. Venerable Red Leaf still wanted to fight for power and profit. Little did he know that Quiluo was sneering in his heart. He could not wait for this fellow to take away his position as the Imperial Guard's commander-in-chief and let Red Leaf deal with the resurrected martial artist. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.